Okay. Oh wait, I gotta pop out the chat, and I forgot to link the goddamn stream. Ugh. Oh, but someone sent me a super chat. Hastings cut off. $10 super chat, and it's a little puppy with a heart. Thank you. I will explain what's gonna happen in a second. I just gotta link this goddamn stream to Twitter because I forgot to. Oh fuck. Yeah, bear with me, guys. Alrighty. Have to change my ambiance as well. There we go. Alright. Shit. Kelshu, my resident is morally gray. Anyway. Somebody, and I'm, big ups to them. I already forgot their fucking Twitter handle, and I'm really sorry about that. But someone on Twitter slid me a leaked script for the new Resident Evil movie that's coming out in September. And I, of course, and I think it's 100%. I think it's 100% real because old dude said it got removed from wherever he posted it or wherever he found it. So I think it's 100% real, but we're still gonna proceed under the assumption that maybe it's not. We're still gonna be a little careful. I looked through it before the stream. Yeah, it doesn't look. I mean, I think everybody already suspected this, but it doesn't look that good. It feels pretty boring, and the lead character, the lead guy, the guy you see in the trailer, because we're gonna watch the trailer first, in a second. The lead guy is a total fucking ass and an idiot. So we have that to contend with. He's not a likable fucking character. I mean, I don't I wouldn't say I don't care that they didn't use canon characters from the canon. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say that that's okay. But if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do something different and bring in new characters, for the love of fucking God, can you make them likable? And he is just not. Yeah, and the actor, because the same guy who made Weapons is making the Resident Evil, the Resident Evil film, and the same guy who's a lead act, he was a character from the same actor who was in Weapons, who played the crackhead, is playing the lead character in the Resident Evil movie. Imagine going from one of the best characters in the director's last movie to being one of his worst fucking characters in the next movie. I mean, I don't know if he is the worst character in the script yet. We'll see, but I didn't like what I was reading at all. So we're gonna watch the trailer first, just so we can refer back to some visuals as we're reading the trailer, because I spotted a couple things right here. Well, not right here, but later on when fuck it. Let's just watch it first, and then we can get to it.
Hello? Had a little bit of a problem on the road. I was wondering if I could use your phone.
Always going into some people's houses looking for shit.
Hello?
Oh. Rhodes, $20 super chat. Thank you, dude. Dude, this is completely off topic, but it must be said. You have got to watch and review Mickey 17. It's hot garbage featuring Robert Pattinson cucking himself and Mark Ruffalo as dollar store Trump. You have to please consider it. I mean, I'll see. I'll probably maybe do a live watch of that shit. But once you get a sum up of the whole thing from other reviewers, it's like, do I even need to? Do I even need to at this point? But yeah, well, maybe. And one thing I want to say about the scene right here, where the window is, there's a scene from the very first Resident Evil game. If they wanted to really give off the impression that they gave a fuck about the game, right in this scene, they would have showed one of the Lickers like walking across the window like he did in the first game. Like, basically, because he's walking alongside. He's walking on the window. You could like see his undercarriage as he's walking past the window. If they had done that right here, I would have been like, okay, maybe there's something here. Maybe you actually do take this seriously.
Yes, we're sorry.
Hey, babe. Look, I'm really sorry that we got disconnected earlier, but...
Science smile. That's the second game, isn't it? No, that's the first game. I remember it vividly.
Some things have happened.
I remember this part from the script, and it's so aggravating.
I'm in like a seriously fucked up situation right now. And it looks like there's a chance that we might not get to talk to each other again.
Like, why? Why is that down there? How did you get... I'm guessing this is going to end up like, oh, well, in the outskirts of Raccoon City, there's going to be the research center underneath, underground. But how would this fat motherfucker able to this... How's this fat motherfucker going to look like... how is he going to get... He's just sitting there. You know what I mean? It's not like he's... like in some kind of cage where they were keeping it. I don't know. I just don't get how this is gonna work. Oh, Mikey Gusler, remember the Long Bros? It looks like ass. Yeah, we were joking about that on Twitter too. I'm guessing that's part of a bigger monster. I haven't gotten to that part of the script yet, but we will.
I just wanted you to know. I love you.
Yeah. The Black Nothing, $2 super chat. It's Barrett Harkonnen. But yeah, you saw it. The trailer looks like it would have been better if the lead character was, I don't know, Leon. People would have been hyped about this shit, but and then the monsters aren't really that recognizable. I mean, it looks a little off-putting. I mean, it's a teaser. It's supposed to tease. But that's my thing. You know, there's no real tease that tells us this is a Resident Evil film. Just throwing that out there. Okay, let's get to it. I gotta move some shit over because we gotta maneuver. We gotta do some maneuvering. Hang on a sec. To get to the script. To get to the script. Now, what I want to do is like a combination of, because I don't want to read this entire thing. That would really kick my ass because I have been coughing a little bit today. So I ran the script through like a text to speech thing. So we're gonna be like listening to it as I like scroll and read through it. Oh shit! I think that's the best way to go about it. Holly Fauci, ooh, dark mode. Yeah, because this, like, you know how bright it would be and how traumatic it would be for my eyes if I had to read this shit in light mode. I don't think so. But all right, let's see if we can. Gotta do this. Hang on. Oh yeah. Chat right there for a second. All right. Yeah, this is the script, allegedly, in Minecraft, whatever. But yeah, let me start this up. Press play on that shiz.
By Zach Kreger and Shay Hatton. In hospital. Dusk. The automatic lobby doors slide open and in strides Brian, 30s, casual, slung over his shoulder as a refrigerated cooler. He steps to the counter and flashes a laminated tag. Brian, got a B7. Clerk. Through there.
Oh, by the way, Brian is our lead character, is the guy from the trailer, the turd that we're not going to be able to flush because he's the lead character. So keep that in mind. But hang on, I gotta do some more maneuvering right quick. There we go. And just pop that back out. We could just move that underneath here. Damn it. All right. Damn it! Oh, sorry, because this is a spur of the moment stream, and plus the way I have things set up, Ugh. Gotta do some maneuvering. Alright, there we go. I want to be able to unpause this at my leisure. Green Star 950, no Leon. From what we can see so far, nope.
Brian. Thanks. Into a trauma wing. Continuous. Brian ambles through swinging double doors and moves down a hallway buzzing with the usual activity of a trauma center. He tries to lock eyes with a passing nurse. Brian. Got a B7? She shuffles past. He tries someone else. Brian continued, B-7 here. You know where I can... They also pay him no mind, ducking into a doorway. Brian continued, God damn it. He stops and does a slow circle, holding up his little cooler bag by the strap. Brian continued, Hello? B7 here. Anyone order a heart or a liver or whatever this is? Anyone? Seems kind of important. Doctor. Hey. Brian turns to see a doctor in a white coat approaching. Doctor continued. This was supposed to be here an hour ago. What took you so long? Brian. I came straight here, man. They gave me the... Doctor. Here. Give. The doctor snatches the cooler and is already striding away with it. Brian. Someone has to sign for that. Hello? The doctor disappears into a room without looking back. Brian continued. Asshole. Int lobby. Moments later.
Like, you know what gets me already about this shit is this is clearly something they need for some kind of maybe umbrella corporation experiment or something like an organ that is seriously needs to get there quick. Why just depend on some random ass courier? Like, wouldn't you don't hospitals have their own people? They got their own version of DoorDash where they can just go back and forth and get shit. Oh, cynical person's voice already has me laughing. Yeah, it's the best voice I get. And the funny thing is that the character's name is Brian, and the voice they used for the text to speech name is Brian. So that's funny. But it's like, yeah, why would you depend on some greasy ass nigga to send you an important body part. That's my thing.
Brian leans on the counter as the clerk looks over his clipboard. Clerk, I can't sign for receipt of delivery because I'm not the one who received the delivery. Brian, I know that. I'm saying the doctor who took the delivery just walked off. So what am I supposed to do? Clerk, get him to sign it. Brian, he's back there putting whatever it was I gave him into whoever it is that needs it. You want me to walk into the operating room and hand him a pen? Clerk, then you'll have to wait till he's out. Brian, yo, you know how long transplant surgery takes? That's gonna be hours. Anyone can sign it. Doesn't have to be him. Clerk, then why don't you?
Didn't you just say earlier that the person, or did the clerk say that? Yeah, the clerk said, I can't sign for it because I'm not the one who ordered it. And then Brian was like, I know that. And then he switched up and said, well, anyone can sign it. Doesn't have to be him. Like, all right, wait, so which is it? Is he like just lying to get the fuck out of there? Or did they really make a mistake in the script already? Cynical person, yo. Yeah, he says yo a lot. Like, it's fucking obnoxious. He says yo so much, it makes me want to kill myself. And I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. Yummy Yum meat meet me. Oh my god, I'm gonna just call you Yummy. Umbrella literally has UCBS and USS Special Force paramilitary groups. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, this is dumb. It's dumb that they trusted a greasy hair DoorDasher for this shit.
Sign it. He glares at her. His eyes drift down to her name tag. Andrea. Brian. Have a lovely evening. She smiles joylessly at him. He turns and shuffles back toward the exit, grumbling to himself. Brian continued. Stuck up grouchy. He checks over his shoulder to see that she's not watching, raises his clipboard and scrawls Andrea onto the signatory line on his paperwork, smiling to himself when Staffer, OS. Hey, courier! Brian whirls around like a child caught stealing. Brian, I wasn't. A staffer in scrubs has emerged from the back room. Staffer, thank God. Thought you left. You got time for another run? We're fine. Oh, I'm actually pretty much wrapped up for the night. Staffer, really? It's outside the zone, so it pays double. Brian, big smile. I can do that. In medical backroom. Moments later, the staffer hands Brian some paperwork. Another refrigerated cooler bag rests on the table. Scrubs guy, it's a Schedule A, so it's top priority. No stops, got it? Brian. Yeah, man, cool. Where's it going? Scrubs guy, Raccoon City General. Brian. Damn, that's far. Scrubs guy. Yeah, it's up in the mountains, so... Oh shit, I didn't ask. Are you outfitted for winter conditions?
Why is Raccoon City General, like, city, Raccoon City, why is a Raccoon City hospital in the mountains? Or maybe it's like two different hospitals. Maybe there's one in the outskirts of Raccoon City, and then maybe there's one in the center of the city. Maybe. Jerome, check your media literacy, JL. This is gold. Holly Fauci. Who would put a hospital in the mountains? Yeah, like I said, it's just like, huh? That just sounds like some sinister shit. That sounds like some Transylvanian bullshit.
Brian. Sure. Yeah, I grew up driving to my grandma's in Minnesota, so it's all good. Scrubs guy, not what I'm asking. If your vehicle isn't outfitted with chains and four-wheel drive, I need to call another. Brian, I got you. No sweat. Brian flashes a big salesman smile. Cut to, X snowy mountain road. Night. Brian's extremely unequipped car skids down the mountain road on unchained tires amidst howling winds and blinding snow. He rounds a bend and the car slides sideways.
You know what I like to know? How much extra are they paying you? Like, what is the regular going rate? And then so we can decide what the hell what that is double. Because for what, like, because judging from what comes up next, I need to know how much money you're making, bro.
Before finding its grip. In Brian's car. Night. Brian clutches the wheel tight, laser focused. The refrigerated cooler in the passenger seat also lurches forward as he hits another slide. But Brian shoots out a hand to hold it in place. Brian! This shit is icy as hell, damn. A woman's voice, Ashley, pipes up through the Bluetooth.
Ooh, Ashley! I don't know, because we don't know what she looks like, of course. I don't know. So if you can't throw names out there like that without us asking the question, is that the same Ashley from Game 4? That's a little, Ashley, okay. You got to be careful who you name in an adaptation, especially if you're trying to do it different.
Ashley, OS. What? Brian, talking to myself. Ashley, OS. Can you talk to me, please? I asked you a question. Brian. I know. I'm thinking. Ashley, OS. Well, if you need time to think, then that's the answer then. You just gave me the answer. Brian. I didn't just give you the answer, baby, because I haven't answered you yet. Ashley, OS. Okay, so answer then. Brian. Baby, I support whatever you decide to do. Your body, your choice. There. Pauline kneels over a manhole cover. She tries to pry it up and gives up immediately. Brian drops to his knees and shoves the barrel of his gun.
Wait, what the fuck? All right, hang on a second. Something's up here. Is reading something completely fucking different. Okay, it's reading some weird shit. The fuck? Yeah, it got off track somehow.
You're off running around doing whatever.
Oh, wait, shit.
Manhole cover. She tries to pry it up and gives up immediately. Brian drops to his knees and shoves the barrel of his gun in. Pauline squats and pulls at the cover, wrenching it aside. That's my answer.
Fuck? Yeah, something got fucked up over here, but I think it's fine now. Hang on.
He waits for a reply. Brian continued. Hello? Ashley, OS. That's not an answer. Brian. How is that not an answer? That's the best answer I could. Ashley, OS. That means you don't want to keep it. Brian. It means I want to support your decision. Ashley, OS. If you wanted to keep it, you'd say, Ashley, I love you and nothing would make me happier than to. Her audio drops out.
Yeah, basically they're talking about abortion here. She's she's trying to decide whether or not she wants to abort their kid, And he's like, well, it's up. He's basically doing, well, it's up to you, bitch. Because like as a dude, what the fuck else? What? Because as soon as he says, yeah, we should keep it, you're not doing that shit. We're gonna keep it and all that. Like as soon as he says that, it's over. Like you're just probably gonna go in the opposite direction any goddamn way because you're gonna call him controlling and all that bullshit. So, like, what else? What else is he gonna say?
Brian. Babe? His car slides again. Brian continued. Shit. Regains control. Ashley? Ashley. Oh, is. But that's not what you're saying. And that's the answer then. So cool. I see where you're at. And I'm going to stay with my sister for a bit, I think. Brian. Baby, don't do that. Don't do that. Ashley. OS. And you don't even care enough to come home and have this conversation face to face. You're off running around doing whatever. Brian. Seriously? I'm working. I'm making money. Ashley. OS. I thought you got off at 10. Brian. I did, and then they needed me for... You do know that I don't deliver pizzas, right? This is someone's life here. He looks down at the cooler by his side. Brian continued. This could be some 8-year-old boy's heart, or someone's mom's brain.
Prince Vegeta. Oh yeah, Prince Vegeta, by the way, is the one who leaked me the script. Thank you for that, by the way. I had no idea he'd be reading the script. I gave him a line. Well, I'm not reading it. Something else is I'm reading it. I put it through a text-to-speech thing. So, because if I had to sit back and read all this shit, it'd be exhausting.
Ashley, OS. You're stupid. Brian takes a deep, angry breath. Long exhale.
Oh, they're both assholes.
Stay calm. Brian. Baby, don't go to your sister's. I'll be home in about 2 hours. We can talk about it. I'm not saying I don't want to keep it. I'm just saying it's a lot to process. I've had this information for about 3 hours and I need to just take a beat and let it sink in. That's all. I love you. And it's scary, but fuck it. Life has some scary shit in it. Maybe that's okay. You know? So, god damn it, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's have it. This is crazy, but I want to have it.
Oh, let me go back 15 seconds. That's funny.
All. I love you. And it's scary, but fuck it. Life has some scary shit in it. Maybe that's okay. You know? So, god damn it, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's have it.
Sounds like a fucking investment banker, like rapping along to make him say, na. Oh, Prince Vegeta, it's all good. Didn't know you did YouTube like me. Just, thought you, were another person just asking to read it too. I mean, I am, but I also wanted to talk about it on stream. Oh, Prince Vegeta and Lamau, brother, when it gets to a certain part, y'all are gonna die. Oh my god. Here we go.
It's crazy, but I want to have it. I can't believe I just said that. Oh my god, I'm gonna be a dad. Silence. Brian continued. Baby? Silence. Ashley. OS. And you're out there running around like a... Brian. Wait, did you hear what I... Ashley. OS. I can't even hear you. Brian. Hear me now? Ashley. OS. This fucking guy is... He looks at his phone. No bars. Brian! God damn it! He tries to slip his phone in and out of airplane mode to refresh the connection when he glances back up and sees a human shape in the road ahead. Brian continued. Fuck. Brian slams the brakes. The tires lock up on the ice. Impact. The pedestrian's body goes flying. Brian jolts forward. The cooler beside him tumbles into the footwell. The car finally screeches to a stop. Brian sits at the wheel, dazed. All is silent. Only his breathing. Brian continued. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Jerome, $2 super chat. Need a Bobcat Goldthwait text-to-speech generator. I wish I could do some shit like that, but, you know.
He leans forward, peering over his dashboard. He can't see anything ahead except falling snow in the headlights. He checks the rearview mirror. Nothing. XT, snowy mountain road. Night. Brian steps out and moves toward the rear of the car. Nothing visible save the red glow of his taillights in darkness. Brian. Hello. No sound but the howling wind. Brian steps away from the car, following his own tire tracks, and then he sees spots of blood on the ground. He digs out his phone and turns on the flashlight. Its cold blue light shows a clear blood trail leading on.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that from the trailer of him with his phone and his camera light on looking for something. We'll get to that.
Off to the side, but no body. Brian continued. Oh shit. Brian takes a few steps after the blood trail but pauses. It leads off the side of the road and into the darkness beyond. Brian stops. He looks back at the car behind him. The warm interior, the organ cooler in the passenger seat. Could just drive on, deliver the organ, and be done with it. He looks back to the blood trail. Brian continued, hello. Still nothing. God damn it. Brian steels himself and treks forward, following the blood. Every step requires effort as his feet sink to his ankles. The wind bites at his light jacket. Brian trudges onwards. How far could this lady have gotten? Brian continued. Hello. Then finally, the shape of a body lying in the snow. Brian continued. Oh shit. Hello. The body twitches but doesn't respond. Brian moves closer, bringing into view a middle-aged woman in a horribly weather-inappropriate, brightly patterned red sundress. She's gaunt with long red hair. She's covered in blood. Her limbs twitch, her teeth gnash together as if she were in the midst of a seizure. A horrible realization. He's really fucked this lady up. Brian continued. Shit. Okay.
Maybe, like, the notes of the script should be a little bit more mature than our lead actor. Let's just... I'm just saying, so we can take the, so we can take the shit serious.
Okay. Hold on, lady. You're gonna be okay. Brian kneels beside her, grabs one of her spasming arms, and puts it around his shoulder. He stands, pulling her to her feet. She turns toward him, teeth gnashing, almost biting at him. Brian, focused on the task ahead, doesn't notice. He hauls the woman along in stumbling steps. Brian continued, come on, just up here. The car looms out of the snow ahead. Into car. Night. The passenger door swings open. Brian delicately lifts the organ cooler and transfers it to the back seat. He looks at the woman who he's leaned against the car. She stands there staring out at the snow, still gnashing her teeth, arms twitching. Brian, you're good. Come on. Brian delicately guides her into the passenger seat. Moments later, Brian in the driver's seat buckles his seatbelt. He reaches across the bloody woman, his arm passing directly in front of her mouth, and once again she snaps weakly at it, but he doesn't notice. He buckles her seatbelt. Brian continued. So sorry, lady. My B. Just hold on.
Not even my bad, just my B. It's not even funny in like a charming, oh, he talks like an idiot type of way. It's just, my B. You know, you could set that bullshit aside for a second because you're in a very serious situation. My bee. My dog got stung by a bee. Oh, boy.
I'm actually headed to the hospital anyway, so this actually works. He winces, realizing how callous he sounds. Brian continued. Never mind. Hold tight. He throws the car in gear.
Oh wait, Goober Mensch, $2 super chat. I'm imagining Brian from Family Guy.
Minutes later, he's cruising down the road again, his headlights carving through the snow. He drives more carefully, taking the turns gently. The cooler bumps lightly in the back seat. The bloody woman beside him raises a bent arm, reaching for him, not necessarily in a violent or threatening way, but we can tell this is bad. She paws at the side of his face. Brian gently pushes her arm aside, trying to keep his eyes on the road. Brian continued. Excuse me, need to see. You're good. You're good. Just a few miles. You're... Whoop, whoop. The faint, unmistakable crowing of a police siren. Red and blue lights swirl.
Yeah, that's not how that sounds. You mean whoop whoop? That's the sound. This nigga just went boop boop. Yeah, use Texas speech. What are you gonna do?
In the fog behind Brian, and a cop car comes sliding out of the mist. Brian looks at the bloody woman. He knows exactly how this looks. Brian
No.
continued. Oh, fuck. He pulls to the side of the road and puts it in park. The cop stops behind him. He studies the rearview mirror as the officer steps from his cruiser and approaches. Brian sweats bullets as the cop taps on the glass. He rolls down his window. Brian continued. Evening, officer. The cop leans into view, a stern, powerful face with an unreadable, neutral expression. Officer, evening. I pulled you over because I clocked you swerving back there. You really shouldn't be on the road without chains and... Brian. Officer, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have a bit of a situation here. Brian delicately points to the woman beside him. The officer leans lower and flashes his light on her bloody face. Officer, dear Jesus, what is wrong with her? Brian, she ran right out in front of me, and before I even had a chance to...
Nigga, you shouldn't have never said that. Because it just sounds like you covering up a fucking crime that you committed.
Pedestrian. Mao!
Now, to all of us horror fans and zombie fans, clearly that meant to be like, Mao. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. I don't know what this text-to-speech was thinking here.
Brian and the cop stare as she fumbles a limp hand at Brian's face. He lightly pushes against it. Brian, she's been doing that. Officer, you struck this woman with your car? Brian, I did, yes.
You could have just lied, nigga. All you had to do was say, I found this lady. I'm a courier. I transport things in between medical facilities. And I saw this shit. I'm on my way to Raccoon General, blah, blah, blah. Saw this bitch on the road all fucked up. And I'm on my way down there anyway, so I'm trying to get her to the hospital. Try to get her to the hospital and get myself down there so I can handle this little business. You didn't really have to tell the truth. You didn't have to tell the truth. You're already a dick. You might as well just fucking lie. Wolfbane, $5 super chat. Hello, Jay. Just got in 5 minutes ago. What are we doing here? Also play that text-to-speech device when it said, reminds me of a Nigerian man. Sardonically sane. Lauren needs to be like a Jiminy Cricket for movie retards. I'm not that powerful. I'm not that good.
Officer, step out of the vehicle for me, sir. Brian sighs.
You should have lied then, nigga.
Sato. Shit. Snowy road. Moments later, Brian stands near the cruiser as the cop checks his eyes with a pen light. Brian, and I know it's not okay. Obviously. I mean, never mind what the hell she's doing out here in the middle of nowhere jumping in front of cars on a...
Nigga, shut up! Shut the fuck up! Whatever you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Shut up! Damn.
Roads. Maybe she was trying to kill herself, and this was her way of... Officer, here, blow till you hear the beep. The cop holds out a breathalyzer, and Brian complies, blowing into the tube until it beeps. Officer continued, "Thank you, Brian. The point is that if I don't get that cooler to that hospital in the next hour, a man's life could be in danger, or a child's life, or whoever it is that's waiting on whatever that is."
And not to mention that's you ran over the bitch. You admitted you ran over the bitch, and her life could also be in the balance. Remember that. Like, don't forget that.
The cop turns away from Brian and grabs his radio. "Officer, this is 7-2. I've got a 1018. Request medical. Copy?" No response. He turns back to Brian. Officer continued, "This weather's been playing hell with my radio all day. Tell you what, I'll escort you to the hospital. We'll get this woman medical attention and you can complete your delivery, and then you and I will continue this conversation." Brian, "I appreciate that. Officer, let's go." Brian, Officer, what? Brian, "Can she ride with you?" The cop stares. Brian continued, "What if she has a seizure or something? I'm not trained for that." Moments later, Brian and the cop worked together to unbuckle the bloody mess of a woman. Brian continued, "There we go. Upsy daisy. Pedestrian. Mug." Brian,
No what? No long drawn out sound for that? Mug? That's it? Whatever.
"Atta girl. Officer, get under her armpit there." The two of them walk her back to the cruiser and manage to maneuver her into the front seat. The cop shuts the door and turns to Brian. Officer continued, "Do not stop following me. If I don't see you in my rearview mirror, I'm going to assume you are fleeing, and I will apprehend you as a criminal. Understood?" Brian, "Cool. Yeah, I got you." Officer, "Good." In Brian's car. Moments later, Brian sits into the driver's seat and shuts the door. Brian, mocking, "Or I will apprehend you as a criminal. Ooh, I'm a big bad cop with a gun and I..."
Oh, fuck you. Like, honestly. He has every right to be stern with your stupid ass, because couldn't even lie right. Ugh.
Brian notices the copious amounts of blood on the passenger seat. Brian continued, "What the fuck?"
What
The
the
cop-
fuck? That actually does sound very Gen Z. What the fuck?
Pulls past him and starts down the road ahead. Brian groans and starts his engine. He checks the back seat and sees that his cooler bag is sitting where he left it. At least that's not ruined. He sighs and shifts into drive. Moments later, Brian squints as he drives. Snow flurries coming down, but he can still see the flashing reds and blues through the mist. Brian continued, "I don't know how you can see shit out here in this..." In the distance, the lights of the cop car veer to the right and careen off the road. They do a strange somersault and then go nearly dark, dimming in the snow as they settle upside down. Brian slams his brakes and screeches to a stop. Brian continued, "Oh my God." Snowy mountain road night. Brian throws open his door, gets out, and heaves his way into the mist toward the upside-down cruiser that has slid
Yeah, this is where it starts to get especially stupid.
some 25 yards into a field. The snow ahead is swirled with red and blue. Brian runs to the driver's side and kneels,
Yeah, I remember that from the trailer of him running towards the overturned cop car. I remember that.
pressing his face to the glass. Brian, "Yo, are you..." The cop hangs upside down. His eyes are wide open and vacant. Blood runs down his face. Brian looks past the cop. The pedestrian is missing. The passenger door sits open. What the hell? Brian pulls at the driver's side handle, but it won't open. He carefully rounds the front of the car and stops at the open passenger door. Where did she go? He gets down on his hands and knees and crawls into the upside-down cruiser, getting a clear look at the dangling officer. Blood runs down, up his face, and pools on the ceiling below him. Brian reaches out, winces, and forces himself to put his hand to the side of the cop's throat, feeling for a pulse. Brian continued, "Shit, please be okay. I'm gonna..." Radio, OS. Brian Kant. 817. Respond. Startled. Jesus. He collects
Jesus.
himself before reaching
Jesus. The fuck
for
was
the radio
that?
mounted on the dash up by the officer's waist. It's too far. He leans in further, necessarily bringing his face closer to the cop, who still appears dead, eyes staring vacantly at Brian. Brian strains upward and grabs the wired microphone. He pulls it down and examines it, turning it over in his hands. Brian continued, "Yo, where the fuck is the talk button?" He holds it to his mouth. Brian continued,
I'm Skylar White, yo.
"Hello?" He looks at it again. Brian continued, "How do you work?" He finds the clicker on the top of the mic. Brian,
Like, what a dumbass. Like, how long could it actually fucking take you to find a big ass button? Oh.
Kant. "Hello." The radio cackles in response. Radio. 17 respond. Brian, "Yo, can you hear me?" Radio. Brian, "Hello? I'm not a cop, so I don't know what to say, but there's an emergency here. Can you hear me?" Radio. Go for control. Brian, "Yo, I can't hear shit."
Yo.
Brian cranes to look for a volume knob up by the dash. He rises, bringing his face once again closer to the dead cop. He cranks a knob on the CB base. Brian continued, "Can you hear me?" Radio. Go for... Brian leans in, listening hard. Radio continued. "We read you. Go for..." Brian's focus is laser sharp. He raises the mic to his mouth and... Pedestrian...
Apparently the zombie came back as a fully fledged zombie now. Pedestrian. Make him say na 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 na.
Brian leans in, listening hard. Radio continued. "We read you. Go for..." Brian's focus is laser sharp. He raises the mic to his mouth and... Pedestrian...
Na 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 na. Oh
The
my
shape of the
God.
bloody woman comes smashing against the window behind the cop's face. Brian. "What the fuck?" Brian recoils from the snarling woman who claws at the glass. Brian continued. "Lady, please, stop." He looks down and sees the cop's gun has fallen free of its holster and lies on the roof of the car. He snatches up the gun and levels it at her. Brian continued. "I'm serious."
But wait a minute. Aren't you just on the other side of aren't you like inside the car from one of the open windows? Is she seriously trying? Like, I know she's a stupid zombie. I get it, but they'll do anything to try to get it. Like, wouldn't she just go around and try to kill? It's probably a nitpick, but like, you already went in from the open passenger window. You think she just like know to go in there? Whatever. The Black Nothing $2 super chat. I'm a zombie. Meow. Meow.
The woman hisses, claws at the glass some more, and then darts around the front of the car. Brian twists awkwardly to keep an eye on her. Brian, Kant. "Where are you going? What are you doing?" And then she's rounded to the passenger side and squats at the open door, growling at him with fresh rage.
Oh, no, okay.
Brian continued. "Fuck off, lady. Fuck away from me." Brian scrambles deeper into the cop car, fully under the dangling bloody officer, kicking at the woman in the doorway who's crawling her way in after him. Brian yells, aims the gun at her, and pulls the trigger. It doesn't fire.
Aims the gun at her. Nah, I didn't edit this PDF, so what the fuck was that
Brian
about?
looks for the safety. No time. He fumbles for the door handle and shoves it open. On his hands and knees, he crawls into the snow as fast as he can. The bloody lady clambers after him, snarling, teeth gnashing. Brian continued. Shit. He picks himself up and stumbles away from her, tromping through the snow around the rear of the cop car. She's already up and rounding the car after him. Brian continued. Please, please, leave me alone. Brian stumbles in a clumsy orbit around the car, pawing at the safety as he goes. She pursues. Brian continued. Where's the fucking safety button? Another full lap around the car, his heaving becoming a full-blown panic as she closes the gap between them. Brian continued. Please. Click. Brian finds the safety and flicks it off. Brian continued. Aha! Brian whirls around and there's nothing behind him.
A fucking ninja zombie. Where's she hiding? Like, cause keep in mind, I mean, she could be in the woods, but like, why the fuck? She's got enough cognitive function to do that, but she spent so much fucking time trying to get at him from the opposite window when they were in the car. Like, what is that? How does that make sense? She got enough fucking cognizance to hide on a snowy fucking road in the middle of nowhere where there's only like, I think like woodland areas on each side of the road. She knows how to just like duck and hide in the fucking woods and then pop out when it's convenient. That's fucking dumb. That is so dumb. And if you think she wasn't hiding, we're gonna keep reading. She was definitely hiding.
Brian blinks into the dark, but all he sees is falling snow in shadows beyond. He whirls and aims behind him, but that direction only shows his car parked on the street. No sign of her.
No sign of her.
Freezing and exhausted, he slumps against the side of the car. Brian continued, gasping. Oh my God. Oh my God. He rubs his face and tries to steady his breath. Brian continued, that was absolutely pedestrian. The woman comes shrieking out of the dark.
Oh, he didn't do it. God damn it. He didn't say the thing. Well, yeah, I guess I'll do it. Yeah, the woman comes shrieking out of the dark. Where the fuck did that bitch go? Where did she go? She's a ninja.
Brian raises his gun. Blam, 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 blam. 6 shots and every single one misses.
Get the fuck out of here. You didn't get her once? What kind of dumb shit is this? You see what I'm saying about this character? Holly Fauci, she can teleport now, Jay. Sardonically saying, Lauren, it was a potty break. all six shots miss. How the fuck do you miss that? All of that. Oh, Arturo Vegas, welcome back. Bloody, haven't seen you in a while. $25 super chat. Appreciate the stream, Jay. Hope all is well. I appreciate you as well, and as well as it possibly can be. And thank you. Oh, silly raccoon. Yo, I missed. The Black Nothing $5 super chat. The scary movie version of this scene. She's not a zombie. She's just on meth or fentanyl. Oh my God. He missed every shot. That's trash. Come on.
The woman rushes on, arms outstretched, closing the gap when Brian closes his eyes and squeezes his trigger again. Blam! A 7th shot slaps her right in the center of the chest, and she drops lifelessly into the snow. Brian lets out a gasp. He fucking did it. He stares at her motionless body for an odd moment. Brian, holy, she...
Also, yeah, nigga, you got lucky. You didn't do shit. I don't know how the fuck you missed her the first 6 times. Get the hell out of here.
He takes a cautious step forward and leans over the woman. Smoke curls upward from the new hole in her chest. He kneels, taking a closer look. Purple veins run up from her neck and cobweb her face. Brian continued, "What happened to you?" In Brian's car. Moments later, Brian sits into the driver's seat and slams the door. He digs his phone out and dials 911. Connecting. Connecting. Brian, come on. He notices the no service text where his bar should be. Brian continued. Fuck. He looks out at the dead woman in the flip cop car. Brian continued. Okay, I'll get someone. I'll be back. He turns the key and, grrr. The engine growls and sputters but won't turn over. He cranks the key.
Also, you're telling me she's just dead from that shit? You gotta shoot him in the head to kill him. You telling me, like, you could kill him with a heart shot now? Kruger Forever, $4.99 super chat. They're coming to get you, Lord. There's one now. The Umbrella Corps are coming to get you. Oh, shit. There we go.
He again gets nothing. White smoke seeps from the hood. Brian continued. What is this now? Exited snowy road. Continuous. Brian steps from his car and walks to the front, fanning at the smoke billowing from the hood. Brian. Yo, what the fuck? As he circles the car, he spots something. 6 small bullet holes pepper the engine block. Brian continued. You, who shot my fucking... He looks behind him. The dead woman is in line with exactly where he was standing when he shot her. He looks back to the car as it dawns on him. He snatches his gun out of his waistband and stares at it. Brian continued. No! Oh, you stupid fuck!
Exactly. What? How did you... He fucked up his only mode of transportation because he couldn't hit the broadside of a fucking bar. Or at least make sure he doesn't accidentally hit the car. Oh! I hate this nigga, man.
In Brian's car. Moments later, Brian sits into the passenger seat and pulls open the glove box. He digs around and produces a paper map. He clicks on the dome light and spreads it over the dash. He traces a finger on the map and finds his approximate location. Brian. Okay, I should be about here. He sees that the road ahead becomes a winding tangle of mountain passes, curling back on itself before it nearly doubles back and feeds into Raccoon City. Brian continued. That's gotta be like 7 fucking miles. He exhales, defeated. Brian continued. Fuck me. He looks past the police car to his right. Beyond the field is a layer of trees, and in the distance beyond that, he can see light pollution from the town. He looks at the map again. He traces his finger from his current location, this time ignoring the roads. Raccoon City is a short distance away on foot. Brian continued. 2 miles on foot. Brian thinks on this. Brian continued. Fuck it. Exit snowy road. Moments later, Brian grabs the cooler out of the back seat. Brian, let's go, buddy. He straps it over his shoulder, makes sure the gun is in safety mode, and steps.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I remember I highlighted that part of the dialogue. Because that was just... Because, I thought that, like, him calling it safety mode, safety button, whatever, that was just Brian being Brian. But no, this is a fucking note from the screenwriter in the goddamn script. To make sure the gun is in safety mode. That is such a fucking Gen X. I don't know how to... I'm soy drinking. I don't know how to use a fucking gun as fucking way to say that. Just,
Steps back into the field. Brian continued. Fucking freezing out here. He walks again to the open passenger door of the squad car and squats. The upside-down cop dangles as before. Brian hesitates, then crawls in and grabs the officer's jacket by the sleeve and yanks. The jacket slides down but is caught in the seatbelt. Brian continued, "Come on, man. I'm sorry, but I need this." He pulls harder, but the coat's not gonna slide off without some serious maneuvering. Brian takes a deep breath and reaches up for the seatbelt release. Wide shot of the upside-down cop car jostling with the thud of the cop falling from his perch. Brian O.S. continued. Ow! Moments later, Brian stands in the snow, zips up a police jacket, and turns away from the cop car, walking toward the tree line. On his back are the letters RCPD. Everyone who's played the games will jizz their pants here.
No, they won't, because it's RPD. You cringe farming ass nigga. RCPD. Oh, they'll just cream their pants when they find out that I inaccurately put the police acronym that I spelled the police acronym the wrong fucking way. RCPD. Sounds like a fucking... No, it actually sounds like a soda. It makes me think of RC Cola. That's probably why they named it RPD in the first place. RPD just sounds better. Lo-fi ink blot. Why is that in the script? Because the fucking screenwriter's an asshole. Everyone who's played the games will jizz their pants here. Get the fuck out of here. Holly Fauci, lol to all the RE fans. I'm sorry. Gray homie. They actually put that there? Yes. Allegedly.
Xed field. Night. Brian clomps through heavy snow as he treks across the field, shivering and miserable. Ahead, a wooden fence comes into view with a sign reading, "Private Property." Brian hesitates. In both directions, the fence stretches indefinitely. Moments later, he tumbles over the fence and lands in the snow on the other side. He pulls himself to his feet, brushes the snow off, and carries on. He's gone about 2 steps when, "Arf!" a faint yip echoing over the landscape. He looks around. "Bark!" This one is louder. He turns to see, "Bark, bark, arf, woof," a black missile barreling out of the snow, a Rottweiler bearing down on him, ready to kill Brian. Oh no. Brian runs. The dog out of focus, over his shoulder, its barking growing louder as it closes in. A shape looms into view ahead. A barn. Brian wheezes, his feet sinking in the snow up to his ankles. The dog is 50 feet behind him. 40. 30. He reaches the barn, grabs the doors triumphantly, and yanks. They don't open.
Yeah, we also saw that in the trailer. When he's running towards the barn. The fact that he was being chased by a dog kind of ruins it though. The Black Nothing $2 super chat saying fuck doesn't make you cool, script. True. But this part is especially stupid. Like, there's something he does. Of course I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all, but there's something he does that pisses me off. Sardonically insane, triumphantly. Right? Like, he hasn't even done it. He hasn't even opened the goddamn doors yet. He's triumphant. Idiot.
Brian continued, Come on. He slams his hands against the door, and it swings inward. Push doors, not pull doors. He runs inside. Int. Barn. Continuous. Brian heaves the door shut behind him and stumbles deeper into the barn. Whump! The dog collides with the door seconds later, smashing it back open.
Why the fuck did you take the time to reinforce the door, you idiot? It's a Rottweiler. Like, the only reason we're scared of dogs like that is because we don't want to have to hurt them. And of course, it is scary when they're coming at you with those teeth and the barking and the aggression. Yeah, I mean, especially if it's a fucking pit bull. Like, if it's a pit bull, you know, you better make sure you get somewhere safe. It's high ground, because they can crush skulls, I think, from what I understand. But like a Rottweiler, You could have reinforced that damn door. There wasn't anything in there to reinforce the door. He just kind of like runs in and, just gonna leave it open, knowing that damn well a dog can push it open. Ugh. Oh, yum. Well, it could be a Cerebus, a Cerebus, goddammit. Yeah, it could be. Still, he could have tried to reinforce the door.
Brian runs, searching for a hiding place, a weapon, anything. He spots a ladder leading up to the loft. He bolts for it, sliding in loose hay. The dog is right behind him. Brian grabs the rungs and clambers up just as the dog leaps and slams into the ladder with its full weight. The ladder shakes but stays upright. Brian clings to it for dear life. The dog falls to the floor and bounds back up, snapping at his feet. Brian pulls himself to the top and rolls onto the floor of the loft, gasping for breath. He stays there for a long beat, his gasp turning to relieved laughter. Brian. Ha 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 ha, stupid dog. His laughs slide dangerously close to tears. He pulls himself together. He rolls back onto his stomach and peers down. The dog is still there, snapping up at him. Brian continued, "Learn to climb, bitch." Brian surveys the loft and sees a window at the far end. An idea hatches in his mind. He grabs the ladder and pulls it up off the ground into the loft. Then, carefully, he extends the ladder over the dog's head. The dog jumps up, snapping at it. Brian continued, "Fuck off." Brian bats at the barn door with the ladder. He misses. It's hard to maneuver. He tries again, pushing the ladder against the barn door to little effect, nearly dropping it. A third time he tries and successfully smacks the ladder into the barn door, pushing it closed and sealing the barn shut. Brian continued, "Try pulling them shits open with your no thumbs. Ha!" With a satisfied grunt, Brian tosses the ladder, aiming for the dog. Brian continued, "Suck ladder." It scampers out of the way with a surprised whimper and promptly resumes barking. Brian turns and crouch walks toward the window at the end of the loft. He takes out the cop's gun and aims it at the thick pane of glass, about to shoot out the window, then stops.
Fucking why, nigga? Why? Why were you trying to shoot the window? The first instinct anyone would have, seeing a window to try to escape out of, is to try to see if you can get it open. His first instinct was to shoot it. He's so goddamn stupid. And it doesn't end there. The stupidity does not end there.
Realizing, he reaches out and easily slides the window open.
Idiots.
Exit barn. Night. Brian cranes to look at the drop below. It's higher than he'd counted on. Brian. Fuck. The ladder. Fuck. No choice. He crouches in the window.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to fucking do this if you hadn't thrown the ladder at the dog to be a petty asshole. Yeah, that's what he did. He used the long ladder to close the barn doors, which was smart. That part was smart, right? But then, to be petty to the dog, because fuck dogs, he throws the ladder at him and and leaves it on the fucking ground. And then he proceeds to go to the window that he tries to shoot open before trying to open it. Looks out the window, sees that there's an 8-foot drop that his punk ass is scared to go down, and realizes, oh damn, I shouldn't have tried to hit that dog. I shouldn't have hit that dog with the ladder. He's like, this is, and I don't want to hear no bullshit. Like there can be some people who will defend this and be like, well, you know, he's a regular guy in an extraordinary situation, and he we do dumb stuff. No, he's just retarded. He's just retarded. He's not doing, like, the ladder thing to get the barn door closed. Smart, fine, because he could close it, and it's not like the dog can like pry it open with his hands. It's fine. But then because he's such a little bitch, he had to throw the ladder at the dog. out of spite, not thinking that he might have to use it to climb down. Idiots. And you know some people are going to try because of Zach Kreger or whatever the fuck his name, the guy who did Weapons. You know, because he has his reputation from the 2 movies he made, people are going to try to justify this shit. I remember this happened. I was talking a lot of shit about what was it? It was the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And I was talking about how the cinematography or like the camera work was complete trash in the opening scene, because it was. You know, the kids, when they were doing their little, you know, Jedi Tai Chi, and as soon as the action starts and then the siege starts, they just start shaking the camera artificially. It was very clear that it was like either a post-production effect, or if they tried to do it straight up with the camera while they were filming, it looked like shit. It looked bad. And I brought this up, and someone was like, "Oh, well, the screen, the cinematographer, the camera guy, he has a this and this reputation, and therefore it can't be bad." I wish I was making that up, but apparently because they have a reputation of doing things that are good prior, must mean they didn't fuck up this time. Oh, I can't wait for all that shit when this movie comes out, because you know people are going to do it. People are already doing it. Sardonically saying, you know what's wild? Brian represents an unbroken genetic chain of billions of years. Robert Baratheon wasting bullets in an apocalypse is stupid. Well, he doesn't know he's in an apocalypse yet. He's just going through, and that's another problem, is that he's not really going through that much right now, and we're already like 26 pages into a 96-page script. Yummy J Longbone, you don't understand. He got the prompt from the game that he didn't need the ladder anymore and chose to discard it. Kruger forever. Can we please bring back Jill Valentine? Right? Somebody competent. Like, I'm not saying we need someone hyper competent to star in the fucking movie, but it has to be somebody who has a brain. Period. Even somebody like John Wick would be a little, you know, out of his element in a zombie apocalypse. Like he'd hold his own, but still, that's a situation he's not used to being in. It's a situation that none of us are used to being in. But we would have a brain in our heads. Like, the ladder thing just pissed me off, because just why? Why are you dumb?
Psyching himself up for the 8-foot jump. Brian continued, "Come on, you got it." And he jumps down. Whoomp. He does not stick the landing. Instead, he just sort of collapses onto the ground in a heap. Brian continued, Both ankles hurt, but they don't seem broken. He sits up and takes stock of his condition. Brian continued, "Am I good?" He looks himself over, but seems fine. He checks the cooler.
And no, you're not.
It too seems undamaged. That's when he realizes the barking has stopped. Brian looks to the barn wall nearby and spots a hole. We push in on it. We all know what's about to. Blarg, snarlarf! The dog's head bursts through the hole, snapping and snarling. Brian leaps back, but then realizes the dog can't fit through the hole. Only its head protrudes. Brian picks himself up and watches, safely out of reach at the drooling, snapping, but completely powerless animal. He laughs and steps closer. Brian continues.
Nigga! I understand the laughing. But why would you step closer? I don't like this nigga at all. You see what I'm saying? This is not regular guy shit. This is just flat out stupidity to make things in this horror movie happen. This is amateur shit.
Oh, what's a matter, huh? Dinner got away from you? The dog foams at the mouth. Brian, coned. Sorry about that, little buddy. That's what happens when you pick on the wrong... Bloosh! The dog's mouth opens too wide, and a swarm of pink tentacles shoot from its throat. Brian continued. Ah! The tentacles whip forward and wrap themselves around his left arm. The tentacles contract, pulling Brian toward the dog's mouth. With his right hand, Brian fumbles the gun from his waistband, but drops it into the snow. He's dragged over it, loses sight of it for a second. He blindly reaches, fumbling, and miraculously plucks it up in the nick of time. His arm is pulled into the monstrous mouth. The teeth sink into his forearm. Brian continued. Brian presses the cop's gun into what remains of the top half of the dog's mutated head and blam! A spray of blood and brains, and the tentacles release him. Brian reels backwards, falling into the snow. He stares at the impossible corpse hanging from the hole. Brian continued, What the fuck? What the fuck? What are you? He rises slowly to his feet, mesmerized. Brian continued.
Yeah, Brian got bit by this clearly infected dog. What's going to happen to him? What's going to happen to him? Because we still got, 64 pages left? The fuck is going to happen to him? I remember dude got scratched by a licker in, well, I mean, I know it's not necessarily lore accurate. Like the first Resident Evil movie, he got scratched by a licker and then changed minutes later. Well, not minutes later. It was 15 minutes later. So that's weird.
That's not real. That's just stupid. That's pain in his arm. He looks down and sees a nasty bite. Brian continued. Oh, Jesus. He looks at the dead mutant dog. He looks at the blood coming from his arm. He looks around at the darkened snowy field. Brian continued. This is insane. I hate this. He staggers around the side of the barn. Ext farmhouse. Moments later, up a small hill sits a two-story traditional farmhouse. Brian trudges his way towards it. All the windows are dark. He scans the area. No other structures in sight. He makes his way up the front steps. End farmhouse. Moments later, Brian pushes the front door open.
Wait, hang on a second. Lo-Fi Inkblot, what's the bet Brian is actually carrying the virus vaccine and not an organ? Who knows? Probably. That could be it. Chosen and Untamed. I too hate this. Kruger Forever. Were the lickers those skinless mutant dogs? No. Those are two different things. I don't know what the lickers started as, but yeah, they're two different things. Okra with intents. I think that's what that says. The script writer is a golem thinking the fans will cream themselves over references. It's true.
Open and peers inside. The living room is dark and cluttered with furniture. Brian. Hello? Nothing. Brian continued. Hello? I had a car problem and I was hoping to use your phone? Nothing.
Remember that from the trailer?
Brian continued. Okay, I'm going to come in because it's really cold out here, okay? Brian steps cautiously into the dark. He can't make out much. Only the dim shapes of furniture and a hall leading to the rear of the house. He slides one hand along the wall and finds a light switch. Click. The room illuminates and Brian finds himself in a pleasant, cozily furnished home. Everything seems in place. A knitted blanket decorates the couch. Taxidermy deer head on a wall. A cozy stone fireplace, rustic but warm. He moves deeper inside, bringing the dining room into view, and with it, the first sign of trouble. The dinner table has been flipped over on its side. Food is strewn across the floor. Brian continued. Oh shit. He stares at the mess, imagining what bizarre scene could have unfolded here. Brian continued. Hello? Something occurs to him and he examines his gun. Brian continued. Yo, how do you... He fiddles with it, pulling at the chain.
You're by yourself. Why are you saying yo? That's kind of aggravating. I don't know what about that is aggravating. Well, him saying yo constantly is aggravating by itself. But then he's like, sometimes, like when he says it by himself, when he says it when he's by himself, it's just weird. I don't know. It's a pet peeve.
Chamber and flicking the safety on and off. Finally, he finds the release and the clip drops to the floor. Brian continued. Shit. He scoops it up and holds it up to the light. Brian continued, counting bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck. 4 bullets left. Brian slams the chamber back home. He returns his attention to the living room and spots.
That.
A large double-barreled shotgun hangs over the fireplace. Brian continued. Hello? He pulls the shotgun off the wall and cradles it. Brian.
Yeah, that's some game shit. That's some game shit. Reminds me of the first game when you can when you get your first shotgun and you pull it off the wall and it releases the hooks, and I think it opens something or whatever. Yeah, it's like tiny little, but these are tiny little things. Of course, the dog with the tentacles, but it's Resident Evil-esque.
And continued. Damn, you're heavy. He studies it and finds the spring that releases the barrels from the stock. It unhinges, revealing 2 empty chambers. Brian continued. No shells. He opens drawers in the living room cabinet. He feels around above an armoire, but no luck. In the kitchen, Brian cradles a shotgun in the crook of one arm and pulls open drawers with the other. He steps to the fridge and pulls it open, leaning to get a look inside. Then...
Oh, yummy yum. The dog with the tentacles is already 4 and 5. Really? I thought it was like sooner than that. Whatever.
He leans against the counter, shotgun resting beside him as he eats turkey out of Tupperware. Brian continued. He washes it down with a can of root beer. He walks cautiously up the steps.
Honestly, with everything that's going on, I wouldn't eat off of anybody. That's just me, though. I mean, if it was in Tupperware, but like, I don't know. I'd be too skittish to eat off people. Like the root beer, okay, fine, because that's already closed. That hasn't really been opened yet. But food that people have already eaten off of, considering that people are turning into mutant freaks. I don't know.
With the shotgun cradled.
Lo-fi Inkblot. The tentacles are from the Las Plagas virus.
Under one arm and a giant drumstick in the other hand. Brian continued. Hello, coming up. Int farmhouse upper floor. Continuous. He pauses near the top and surveys the second floor. The steps led out into a hallway with a room at either end. Brian pushes open a door and peers into a study. Library shelves and boxes of old records everywhere. Messy. Brian pushes open the other door to reveal an empty bedroom. He flicks the light switch, but nothing happens. Brian steps in and moves toward the bed, pulling open a drawer in the bedside table. Brian, where the fuck do you keep the shells, man? He moves around the bed toward the dresser, taking a bite of the drumstick as he goes. He pulls open the top drawer of the dresser and... jackpot. A box of shotgun shells amidst the underwear. Brian continued. Yo. Brian sets the drumstick on the...
Mikey Gusler, $5 super chat. You don't understand, Jay. Rupert gives him a boost, just like in the video games. Oh, wait.
dresser and reaches for the box when he happens to glance out the window. In the distance, he can still see the faint flashing reds and blues of the cop car.
Really?
He looks over the path he took from the cop car and sees Brian continued. Oh shit. In the snowy field below, beyond the barn and the fence, he sees a solitary figure running toward the house, following the same path he took. Brian leans toward the glass, studying the figure, red dress flapping in the wind. He realizes what he's looking at. The pedestrian,
Okay, so she
moving
is
jerkily
alive.
but relentlessly toward him. Following his tracks, she reaches the fence and begins climbing over. Brian continued. Oh, fuck. Brian snatches the box of shells and pulls at the tabs, dropping the shotgun as he fumbles with it. Brian conned. Fuck.
Brian,
He leans
cunt.
down, grabs
Yes.
the gun, and lays it on the dresser. He pulls a couple of shells out of the box, others spilling onto the floor. He leans to check on the status of the pedestrian below. She's cleared the fence and is now sprinting up the slope toward the house.
Sprinting. We got running zombies now? Why is she sprinting?
Brian's heart pounds as he fumbles with the shotgun, searching again for the release lever when... Gay. A farmer in a white nightgown comes screaming out of the dark recesses of the room and throws himself into Brian. The two land in a heap on the floor. The farmer scrapes and claws at Brian's face. Farmer! Brian, ah! The shotgun goes clattering out of reach. Shells roll all over the floor. Brian does his best to fend off the man's claws and bites. Brian! Stop! Please! Brian manages to get one hand clamped around the farmer's throat, keeping him at bay. With his other hand, he fishes his pistol out from his waistband. Farmer...
What happened to that turkey leg he was eating? Use that bone to fuck him up?
Brian shoves the pistol against his attacker's face and... bang! The farmer goes limp and collapses onto Brian's chest. Brian wriggles out from under him. He scrambles back on his butt. Brian! Fuck. He takes in the messy scene, this man in a nightgown laying face down, blood pooling around his head. Brian continued. What the fuck? Boom! The door downstairs slams open. Brian gasps. The pedestrian! Footsteps below rush through the living room toward the staircase. Brian can't. Shit. He lunges for the shotgun. He scoops it up and fumbles for the scattered bloody shells. Clump, clump, clump. The footsteps are already climbing the stairs. Brian's shaky hands manage to load.
Also, what kind of fucking sound effect is that for like walking upstairs? Clump. Clump? Really?
One shell into a barrel.
Not thump? Oh wait, no, oh wait, they put they put thump later on.
Brian continued. Please. He reaches for another shell, but his hands are wet with blood, and it slips out of his grasp.
Oh, God.
Thump, thump, thump. The steps rush down the hall toward him. Fuck it. Brian snaps the barrel closed with only one shell inside. Still seated on the floor, he raises the shotgun toward the open door. In the next moment, the pedestrian comes screaming into the room, and Brian pulls the trigger. Boom! Her head explodes, coating the doorway and ceiling behind him in a red paste, and she collapses. Blood pours out of her ragged neck and gathers in a pool around Brian's feet. All is silent again, except his breathing. Brian stares dumbly at the two bloody bodies on either side of him and drops the shotgun. Brian continued. Wow. He pulls his feet toward himself as the blood pool spreads. Brian can't. Oh, wow. For a long beat, he can't put a coherent thought together. He stares stupidly at the dead woman until something in the jagged, gaping neck wound moves. Brian watches in mute fascination as the flesh around the spine bulges slightly, and then to his horror, a thin white tentacle the size of an earthworm slides out of the wound. It twitches randomly.
Yeah, it seems like they're incorporating a lot of Las Plagas and other shit in here.
coiling and uncoiling, and then slides out a little longer. Then another emerges. 2 shoelace-sized tentacles slither out into the blood puddle, probing,
Shoelace.
exploring. Brian continued.
Wait, I think I know what's gonna happen.
Oh, damn. They extend further, reaching out toward Brian's feet. He scurries away from them, and now 4 new tentacles slide from the neck, all of them moving and stretching out over the blood puddle, across the room toward the body of the farmer. Brian gawks as the
That's another part. I guess that's the part where like all those bodies connected are like jut out of the front door. I think that's what that is. But also, isn't that very The Thing? That ain't Resident Evil. I haven't played all the games. I've only played like the first 3. Village, the 3rd remake, the upscaled version of the first game. Oh yeah, I played the 2nd remake. I haven't played like all of them. Just the legacy ones and the remakes of the legacy ones. Village. Oh yeah, and Resident Evil 7. But this to me feels like some The Thing shit, where they all connect and make one organism. That's The Thing. That's The Thing. I don't know. Maybe correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but that feels like that's usually The Thing. Paracosm, I think that's what I don't think there were bodies fusing in RE at all. Yeah. Gavin Ringdinger, Rittinger, a villain in RE6, sort of does that near the end of Leon's campaign. Media Ghost, how the hell did you get the script? Someone, oh my god, I forgot his name again! Hold on, I'll find it. Because he was in chat earlier. I don't know, might be cut off. Yeah, I think it's cut off. But there was a guy. If you look through chat, if you can, he's got a check mark by his name. But he linked me the leaked script himself. And I thought, hey, what the hell? I'll read it. Paracosm. I know some regrow limbs, but not fuse. Oh, Prince Vegeta. Thank you, or Master DX. Yeah, Prince Vegeta. That's his name. Holly Fauci leaker, you're the goat for this. He truly is. But yeah, this sounds like the Thing. This does not sound like anything Resident Evil related, but that's just me.
Tentacles from the pedestrian find the leg of the dead farmer. They immediately surge up his body like hungry snakes. That's when Brian notices that the bullet wound in the farmer's head has sprouted little tentacles of its own. These new tentacles are already extending and reaching down his body toward the approaching tentacles of the pedestrian until they merge, mingling together where they form a tight braid. The braid pulses, strengthening. The braid begins to contract, and the head of the farmer starts to slide, pulling his body toward the gaping neck wound of the pedestrian. Brian continued, "Oh, Jesus Christ." Brian watches in absolute horror as the 2 corpses slide toward each other until the bloody head of the farmer is sucked against the jagged neck wound of the pedestrian. The sucking continues and the farmer's head is pulled into the pedestrian's neck wound, which somehow opens itself like a giant mouth.
Yeah, this is The Thing. Come on, bro. this is like some shit from The Thing. Yummy Yum, $2 super chat. You're not wrong. Even Las Plagas parasites do this. Oh, Yummy Yum. Sorry, don't do this. Okay. Jerome, page 33. So we're 33 minutes into the movie. I don't know if that's how that works, but we're like a third into the like 1/3 into the film. Or Master DX, the sucking continues. This sounds like this movie.
Have met, and the arms and legs of both dead people begin to spasm. Brian continued. Fuck this. Brian's awe shifts into terror. He snatches up the shotgun and the box of shells, half full, and bounds from the room.
Nigga, you took too long to do this shit.
Into the living room. Moments later, Brian grabs a set of car keys from the rack by the door and runs out onto the front porch. Exterior farm. Night. Brian runs down the steps, looking from his keys to, oh hell yeah, the farmer's badass truck in the driveway. Brian dashes toward it. In farmer's truck. Night. The engine roars to life as Brian turns the key. Brian. Come on, baby. That's right. Brian throws the truck into gear, gaze shifting up to a giant iron gate, locked with a heavy padlock, blocking his path. Ext farm/gate. Night. Brian sprints to the gate and examines the padlock. It has a diamond emblem on the lock.
Come on. Come on. Yeah, that's definitely RE right there. But like the monster shit from before that was the thing. Come on, bro. Yeah, Zach Kreger or whatever. I'm an avid fan of the games. That's why I'm only gonna whisper Resident Evil with cheese breath in your ear while you're watching basically a retread of the thing. Oh, emblems. Oh, Berserker. Yeah, get it? Weird emblems and keys?
None of them have a matching emblem. He tries them all anyway. None fit. He steps back, thinking, then, an idea. Moments later, Brian stuffs shells into the shotgun. He plants his feet and raises it, carefully lining up the shot. Brian, I got this.
No, you don't.
No room for error. He takes a breath, steadies himself, and blam! A cacophonous clang rings out, blue smoke blocking his view. He fans it away and steps forwards to see. The lock is still solidly intact. What the hell? Brian opens the shotgun and pops the shells out. As he reloads, Brian continued. Oh, you're gonna come off that motherfucker? Just see if you don't. Again, Brian aims his shotgun at the lock, takes a careful breath, and squeezes the
Man,
trigger.
stop wasting your fucking bullets. At least save the shotgun shells and just use the pistol. Then again, I was never 100% that great at Resident Evil or like games where you have to, learn to conserve your ammo. I don't know. CPT Barbarossa $2 super chat. Can you do an F and yo count on this script? I think we can, with the app I'm using, we could probably search for words specifically. We'll see. Aura Master, he doesn't got this.
Blam! The lock is unharmed. Brian continued. Goddamn motherfuck.
Oh.
He scowls. Into farmer's truck. Night. Back in the truck, the engine roars to life. Brian slams the gear into drive, his foot hovering over the gas. He hesitates. He looks at the cooler in the passenger seat. Brian. Hold on.
Yeah, I'd be looking at that shit at that point. I'd be getting real snoopy.
Brian leans over and buckles the cooler's seatbelt. He glances toward the door of the farmhouse. It's dark inside. Can't see anything. Then, a hand reaches out of the dark and grips the doorframe.
Yep,
Then a
saw
second
that.
hand.
Mm-hmm.
Then a third and fourth arm extend from the darkness. The body of the thing is still concealed in the dark.
Oh, it even calls it the It even calls it the thing. Yo, he's slick. Get the fuck out of here. The body of the thing. Oh, nice.
To loom out of the shadows. Brian continued. No, thank you. He slams the gas. The truck rockets forward. Exit farm/gate. Continuous. Brian's truck slams into the gate, which bursts open.
Oh my God, it's almost like you could have done that to begin with! This dumb idiots. So you could have done that in the first place, instead of wasting your bullets. I hate this nigga, man. Ugh. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
But the iron bars of the gate don't just give way. They warp and lodge themselves under the truck, heaving it upwards and off its axis. In Farmer's truck. Continuous. Brian slams forward at the force of impact. The cooler flies from the seat and cracks the windshield, and the truck immediately stops dead. Brian slumps back in his seat, and with a clink, a key dislodged by the force of impact falls from the sun visor and lands in Brian's lap. On it, the same diamond emblem from the padlock. The gate.
What? My only one thinks that this is kind of cringe. Oh, it's got a diamond emblem on it. I mean, maybe these farm people work for Umbrella, and maybe that's how they keep track of which key goes where and everything. Maybe he's fallen into some kind of like research facility area. Maybe that's what it is. But still, I don't know.
Key. Annoyed, Brian throws the key aside and presses the gas again. Brian. Come on, come on. Ext farm/gate. Moments later, Brian steps from the truck and looks back to see the truck is fucked. The mangled wrought iron bars of the gate have stabbed through his tires. It's not going anywhere.
Okay, maybe I spoke
In the
too soon.
distance, the shape of the mutated farmer/pedestrian creature lurches down the steps of the farmhouse. Brian grabs the cooler from the passenger seat, turns, and runs. He huffs down a long, snow-covered road toward town. Behind him, a gargled screech rings out. Monster! He picks up the pace.
Oh, he didn't make the sound. I guess I'll have to do it. Ah!
Exterior road later. The road cuts through a dense forest now, with the cooler strapped over his shoulder. He's put some distance between him and the farmhouse, but he can't keep up the pace and has slowed to a speed walk, occasionally checking over his shoulder as he goes. Brian. What's that? It's snowy? Oh, not a problem. I'm equipped for winter conditions. Absolutely I am. I used to drive to my old fucking granny's house all the time.
Nigga, shut up. You're not John McClane. Stop it. Have a few laughs. Nigga, you're not John McClane. Shut up.
I'm sorry, what's that? Am I a fucking idiot? It would appear that I am, yes. Is that going to be an issue? Brian's arm throbs. He lifts his sleeve and freezes as he sees thick black lines running up his wrist, disappearing into his jacket. Brian pulls back his coat to reveal the bite wound from the dog. It looks horrid. The wound is festering, skin turning purple, infected black veins spiderwebbing out from the wound. Brian continued, No, come on, no. Brian realized,
I think I know where this is going. And this is just, I'm hoping it doesn't go there, but here's what, I think somebody else said this in chat, but I think what he's carrying is the vaccine for the virus. And instead of, and supposed to be, help everybody, I guess, they came up with a vaccine. It's supposed to help everybody during the outbreak. But instead he selfishly uses it for himself. And then dooms everybody, and then we gotta make a sequel, probably with the actual canon characters, to follow up this bullshit. Maybe. I don't know. That's just a theory. That's something I'm throwing out there.
the farmer's badass truck in the driveway. Brian dashes toward it. In farmer's truck. Night. The engine roars to life as Brian turns the key. Brian. Come on, baby. That's right. Brian throws the truck into gear, gaze shifting up to a giant iron gate, locked with a heavy padlock, blocking his path. Ext farm/gate. Night. Brian sprints to the gate and examines the padlock. It has a diamond emblem on the lock.
Oh shit, it's repeating something again. Damn it. Hold on, I gotta fix something right quick. Uh-huh. Okay, I'm trying to. Yeah, it kind of fucked up at one point. One part, I gotta fix it.
Wound is festering, skin turning purple, infected black veins spiderwebbing out from the wound. Brian continued. No, 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 come on, no. Brian realizes the same thing we do. He's infected. His breath hitches in his throat, on the verge of hyperventilating. Brian continued, keep it together. He keeps walking, fighting tears. Brian continued, you're good, man. You're heading to a hospital, and that's where they fix stuff like this all the time. Till then, it's just a walk in the woods. People do this for fun sometimes. He walks on, boots crunching in the snow.
What kind of fucking... What kind of pep talk is that?
A shriek echoes from the woods behind him. Brian picks up the pace. He digs out his phone. Still no bars. He tries to call Ashley, but it doesn't engage. Brian continued. Nothing? Really? He opens the voice memo app and hits record. Brian continued. This message is for Ashley. We got cut off and I know you're upset with me, but something a bit more important has come up. More.
Nigga, you could sound a little better than that.
Brian continued. Basically, like I found myself in a fucking Twilight Zone monster movie situation, and I'm not.
Oh, shut the fuck up and be sincere. I can't stand Gen X writers. I can't stand this shit. Be sincere. You're gonna die, nigga. You almost died a couple times. Ugh.
Not even being joking right now. Really fucked up stuff is happening, and a cop died, and a lady got shot, and a guy got shot, and I don't even know why I'm leaving this message for you, because this is probably one of those play this if you find my body kind of deals. So I guess, Ashley, if you ever hear this, it means I didn't make it, but I want you to know how much. Ahead, he spots something that stops him dead. The forest road reaches a steep hill and runs through a dark underpass tunnel. A steep, snow-covered slope to either side of the road. There's no going around it. Brian continued. How much I love you. He stops the recording. Green! That thing behind him is still getting closer. Brian looks at the dark mouth of the tunnel and sighs. Brian continued. You're stupid for this. He moves forwards. Into tunnel. Night. Brian moves through the tight enclosure, his footsteps bouncing off the walls back to him. Brian. Hello? He flicks on the phone's flashlight. He presses onward. His light only gives him about 15 feet of visibility, but he presses on. Ahead, an RV looms out of the dark. It has skidded sideways and now at a diagonal blocks the entire width of the tunnel. No going around to either side. Brian looks back. The mouth of the tunnel behind him is just a tiny pale shape now. He kneels down, looks under the RV, dark and shadowy. Fuck that. He's not going under. He eyes the front passenger door of the RV. No other choice. He grabs the handle, and the door swings open. Brian continued. Hello? I'm gonna come in. Inside, it's pitch dark and dead quiet. Brian grabs the edges of the door and hoists himself up. Enter V. Continuous. He looks down the long, dark interior of the RV. It's unoccupied but cluttered. A little sofa on one side and a tiny table on the other. The rear has a bathroom area and a bedroom beyond. No signs of carnage or struggle. He takes a deep breath. Brian. Hello. He inches forwards, clumsily clutching the phone for light and the shotgun for confidence. Little by little, he moves through the vehicle, and soon enough his light finds the back door of the RV. His exit. A noise up ahead, between him and the exit. He freezes. Something moves behind the closed door of the RV bathroom. A shuffling and bumping from inside. Something is alive in there.
Yeah, no shit.
Brian swallows and adjusts his grip on the shotgun. A strangled, gurgling, mewling sound from behind the door. He inches closer, the shotgun shaking in his hands, just about to squeeze past the door. When the door shakes, bumped hard from something inside, Brian levels the gun at the door. He slides his finger onto the trigger, swallows, takes one slow step toward the squeak. He freezes and looks down. His shoe has landed on a stuffed animal with a squeaker inside it. He looks around and notices kids' stuff everywhere. The sound of a child's whimper comes from behind the door. Brian continued. What the? He takes another slow step. Brian continued. Hello? More whimpering. Definitely a kid in there. Brian lowers the gun and reaches a slow hand toward the door. He hesitates. Is this stupid? He yanks the door open and steps back, raising the gun again, when he sees a 6-year-old girl curled up against the wall, cries silently to herself. Brian eases. His fear melts into concern. He lowers the gun, leans it against the door, and kneels. Brian continued. Hey there. She doesn't respond, recoiling against the wall. Brian continued. I'm not gonna hurt you. Are you okay? She whimpers. Brian continued. Hey. He reaches out and softly places a hand on her shoulder. Brian continued. Hey, it's okay. Slowly, she turns to face him. Brian recoils. Her right foot is a mass of writhing pink tentacles. Black and purple veins snake their way up her leg and disappear under her shorts. Her arms and chest show the veins poking out under her tank top, less severe as they make their way across her body. Brian studies the trajectory of her infection with horror. Half of her face looks clear, but the other is infected. Little girl, help me. Brian. Oh shit. Little girl, please, I'm scared. Brian steps back. Brian, you're gonna be okay. Little girl, my mom bit me on the foot and I hid in here, but I don't know where she went. Brian. Oh, that's okay. We'll find her.
I bet you her mom is the pedestrian chick.
Little girl, my foot hurts. Brian looks at the tentacles that should be her foot. Brian. Oh, really? Okay. Well, we're gonna get you out of here, okay? She raises her arms for him to pick her up. He doesn't move. Brian continued. Damn. Little girl, please. Brian. Yeah, okay. He awkwardly leans forward to help her when, splash! The tentacles in her foot jerk toward him like hungry snakes. Brian throws himself back, knocking over the shotgun and landing on his ass. Little girl, help me! The tentacles from her leg wrap around his ankle. He kicks at them frantically. Brian, get the fuck off me!
Now, to be fair, this scene does sound disturbing. His fucking, like I said, his Gen X fucking dialogue does ruin it every now and then. Like, just be sincere, goddammit.
Little
Stop
girl,
ruining it.
Help me! The tentacles grab his leg and pull him toward her. Brian, stop. Little girl, help me. He grabs at the barrel of the shotgun, fumbling to get it into position. Little girl continued. Please.
Or what she could be doing some kind of reflex, despite the infection. Because it doesn't make any sense how she's like everybody else is turning and like they're not cognizant and they're not speaking, but she is. It could be some kind of like defense mechanism for the virus. Because it doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Brian, fuck off me. The tentacles tighten around his leg. The girl is being pulled from the bathroom by the force of her own parasite. Brian aims the gun at her leg. Little girl, what's happening to my leg? Brian, I'm gonna try and fix your leg here, sweetie. Just hold. Boom. He blasts the tentacles into a spray of blood, freeing himself. He scrambles to his feet. Little girl. Her arm begins to sprout its own tentacles.
Okay. He skipped it again. But yeah, little girl. Ah!
And soon she's crawling toward him, seemingly against her will. Tendrils shoot from the sick side of her face. She advances and he retreats. Little girl continued.
Aw, he keeps skipping the screaming.
Boom! Brian blasts her right in the head and her whole body rips apart, blood coating the back of the camper like a layer of paint. All is still, only him breathing. Brian, God damn it! Fuck! He lowers the gun. Blood drips down the walls. Brian continued. I didn't want to do that. He stares at the wreckage. He shuts his eyes and gathers himself. This didn't happen. He rises and steps over the goo, making his way to the far side of the RV.
The goo.
Exit street. Continuous. Brian steps from the RV and shuts the door behind him with trembling hands. Ahead lies the mouth of the tunnel and a road toward town. He starts walking. Brian, that didn't just happen. I didn't shoot a little girl in the face. I'm a good person. I like kids. Monster. OS.
Nigga, shut up.
Distant. Brian. The fuck? Brian's
I guess I gotta say it myself again. He keeps skipping all the yelling. Ah!
speed walks, fumbling with the shells in his
Prince Vegeta. I hate this fucking scene. When I read it, it felt like a jab to Sherry, the little girl you save in RE2. This felt like a jab to fans, man.
pocket. He puts two in his mouth and manages to fold open the shotgun. He shoves the shells in. Monster. OS. Oh. It's closer. Brian picks up the pace. X City, road, continuous. Out of the tunnel now, he hauls ass down the road. Brian, fuck. After about 50 yards, he's already winded and has to slow to a speed walk. Brian continued. God damn, move, motherfucker. He tries to jog again, but he's got a stitch in his side. Monster, OS. Much closer now. Brian whirls and aims the shotgun at the tree line while walking backwards. Brian, I'm gonna die. I'm dead. He sees it. Moving through the shadows of the woods comes the lurching shape of the monster, scampering jaggedly on four legs, with four arms groping from tree to tree. Brian continued. What the fuck? His foot catches a crack in the pavement and he falls, landing hard on his butt. Brian, can't. Oh God. The monster steps from the tree line into clear view for the first time. It's a grotesque tangle of flesh that moves, insect-like, toward him. Brian continued. Oh, Jesus! As it prepares to leap, headlights cut through the fog behind Brian and shine onto the approaching monstrosity. The creature screeches and scampers back into the fog as quickly as it came. An SUV bursts from the fog behind Brian and rolls to a stop. The doors fly open.
Oh, they're gonna introduce a known character, or is it just another asshole?
Brian watches from his ass, like a dazed baby as a badass silhouette emerges from the vehicle. Strong, heavily muscled body, MP5 up and ready by the shoulder.
Hmm.
This is Max. Brian continued. Who did you see? Bang, 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 bang. Max fires over Brian's shoulder. Brian continued. Oh, Jesus, God. Brian cowers as Max advances, firing into the fog. Another screech, further away. The creature is fleeing. The MP5 swivels toward Brian, who holds up his hands. Brian continued. Oh, God, no. Oh, please. Another much less badass silhouette emerges from the SUV. A wiry, skittish woman with a white lab coat, Pauline. She plants herself behind Max for cover, peering out at Brian. Pauline! Did it get him? Is he infected? Brian. Thank God you're here. Pauline, I think you should shoot him. Brian. What? No. Pauline. He could be infected. Shoot him. Brian. I'm not infected. I'm good. Don't shoot.
You out here lying, bruh. You lying. You can't make the main character the one lying about being infected. That is such like a douchebag thing to do, to lie about being infected. And you're the main character. That usually doesn't happen. It's usually the side character, like a side character. Oh, you idiot.
Lowers his gun. Max. He has the bag. Cut to into SUV. Moments later, Max drives and Pauline rides shotgun. Brian sits in the back, clutching the cooler. Pauline twists to face Brian. Pauline. Hand me that. Brian. Hand you what? This? Nah. Pauline. I'm not asking. Hand me the cooler or I'll have Max pull this car over and shoot you. Brian, I don't think. Pauline. Max, shoot him. Max, I'm not gonna shoot him. Brian. Why do you keep telling this dude to shoot me, man? Pauline. Okay, fine. Max, hand me your weapon. I'll handle this myself. Max. I'm not handing you my weapon. Pauline shifts angrily in her seat. She glares at Brian. Pauline. You don't have any idea what you have there. Brian. It's some kid's heart or some drunk's liver, right? Pauline. No, it's not some drunk's liver. It's a patented, proprietary biochemical solution. And right now, it's the best chance any of us have of seeing the morning. Brian.
Yep.
Yo, what are you talking about? What the fuck is going on around here anyway? Brian unzips the cooler slowly.
I'm guessing we're gonna get a lore dump or like an exposition dump. Let's go. Fuck it up, baby.
Pauline. What are you doing? Don't do that. Brian pauses and gestures for Pauline to explain. Pauline continued. The substance in that cooler is worth about $500 million.
Just
It's a one-of-a-kind lab-developed genome adapter. Brian, talk to me like I'm stupid, please.
Like you're stupid, nigga? Talk to me like I'm stupid. You are stupid.
Pauline, deep breath. I work for the Umbrella Corporation. We've been contracted by the government to investigate genetic enhancements for potential. Max shoots her a stern look. Pauline continued. For a lot of reasons that are classified. More. Pauline continued. Pauline continued. But basically, in recent weeks, we've made some pretty remarkable progress in genetic manipulation. We've synthesized a way to create about 1,000 years of evolution in a matter of minutes. Brian. You what? Pauline. We've unlocked a substance that can almost instantaneously transform any organism into a highly superior hyper-evolved version of itself without the need of iterative procreation. Brian. Highly evolved? How is any of this the highly evolved version of itself? I saw a dog's head explode into tentacles. I saw a little girl's foot try to eat me. Pauline. What you saw is the natural evolution of an apex predator. Lethal, unkillable. Think about it, if a combat veteran could regrow a lost limb in the blink of an eye, Brian.
What? But y'all fucked it up. I mean, all they can do is like, oh, they grow tentacles and they become like they connect with each other and become a different organism. Like, this is the dumbest shit. And it looks like Brian calls her out on this, which is y'all fucked it up. I like, you can't brag about some shit you fucked up.
Brian with a fucking tentacle? Pauline, it's a work in progress. It's still in the development stage.
It's a work in progress. Come on.
Brian, you're telling me that what's in this box is the cause of all this shit going on? Brian lifts the lid of the cooler, revealing an almost glowing vial of green liquid. Pauline, what you have there is not the cause. It's the solution. It's the antidote. It will neutralize the agent that's causing this. But, Brian, why the fuck am I the one that's been carrying this shit around? Brian shoves the cooler at Pauline, who snatches it.
Like, you cannot keep pointing out problems with your plot through the characters and think we're just gonna be like, oh yeah, that's a good point. No, it's not a good point. Well, it is a good point, but it's like, why didn't you think of that while writing this shit?
Greedily. Outside, the rural snow-covered fields have given way to an industrial sprawl of warehouses. Brian continued, you got a biohazard that's turning this place into the apocalypse, and you hired a glorified Postmates driver to bring you the cure?
Exactly.
Are you fucking dumb?
Yeah. Like, but pointing it out does not make your script smart. I'm sorry, you should have thought of this earlier. What didn't the government? Why didn't you send like a government official? You know, a uniform, like in a Humvee, secured military vehicle. Like, y'all just entrusted this greasy ass nigga. Get out of here.
When we put the request in through your service, we weren't yet in a crisis. We thought it was contained, and going through the elevated security...
That doesn't excuse shit. That doesn't excuse a fucking thing. That doesn't explain or excuse anything. Yum Yum, you need to get the script over to the long man. Mahler needs to see this. Shit, I might link it to him. I don't know. We'll see.
Protocols
I'm gonna mention it to him and ask him if he's interested.
To retrieve it would have required unfavorable attention from our supervisors. Brian, wait. So you knew you fucked up and you wanted to try and do some sneaky shit to cover your ass? So you used me rather than let your bosses know? Am I understanding that right? Pauline, it wasn't an emergency when we called you. We had a usable sample of that in our lab. And
it doesn't matter, bitch. That's not the point. You could have called, like, you could have approached somebody and told them, like, look, we need you to transport some shit under the radar, off the books. Do not tell your superior officers. But we're gonna hook you up with a military vehicle. Don't touch the shit. We're gonna put it in like a secure stainless steel cooler or some shit. And don't touch it. Don't do nothing to it. Just transport to wherever the fuck we want you to transport to it. What you want you to transport it to. But yeah, trusting it in the hands of some greasy. And plus, what if some dumbass nigga tried to steal it? Because you know people who deliver shit back and forth, like through Postmates, Uber, like that, they'll steal your shit. They will steal your shit. Oh, this is so dumb. This is dumb.
And we ordered you to bring this as a purely redundant safety measure. Brian. But then, Pauline. But then one of our technicians compromised the original sample. Human error. Brian.
Oh, human error. That's why we hired someone filled with human error to transport this shit.
What did they do? Pauline. It doesn't matter what they did. Brian. Did they drop it or something? Pauline. It's not important if they dropped it or not. Accidents happen. It could have happened to anyone.
Yes, this is why you don't put women in charge. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What kind of shit is this? Accidents happen. Like, man. Like, I don't know if Wesker's in this, but if he is, like, I would have killed this bitch. Mouseketeer, $2 super chat. Hi, Jay. Hello. Zero Strife. Like, how are they not seeing his clearly infected hand and arm? Yeah, that's also a little sus. That would explain why the script isn't that descriptive. Idiotosin 4.99 super chat. JL episode. Flash calls Batman for help. He keeps saying, yo. Batman realizes it's Clayface setting a trap, tells him, you overplayed your part, yo. D to the dubs. She dropped it. It was her. Yeah, it was probably her. But still, it's like, this is so fucking stupid. But like, this is the dumbest bitch you possibly can in charge of your virus.
It's slippery in a lab. You know how often they have to clean the floors in those places? Brian, it was you, wasn't it? Pauline, here's what's important. Everything that's happened to this...
They even make women, like, just not even taking responsibility for this. The floors were slippery. What do you want me to do? I doomed mankind because the floors were slippery. Get the fuck out of here. This is so dumb. Jerome, $2 super chat, and watch him ask for a tip. Yum Yum, $10 super chat. The OG RE2 outbreak happened because a petty man injected himself with the G virus, killed the assassins sent to steal it, and the results fallout. And the resultant fallout caused the T virus to leak, caused the T virus to leak into the water supply. Fuck my life. Eric Vu. This is Marvel humor in Resident Evil. Yeah, I know. Ugh. It makes me want to make Arnold Schwarzenegger noises like, oh, this is trash, this is garbage. I keep calling this a Resident Evil movie. No. Jesus Christ. Come on. This is absolute shit.
Town, everything you've seen, all of that has happened in the last 2 hours. That's how fast this thing works. So I'm sure you can understand what would happen if this spreads to the rest of the world. That's why it's so important that we get this to the lab immediately. There. Look. Pauline points out the window. Through the snow, Brian can make out the tower of the hospital, the tallest building in town. Pauline continued. There's a team currently operating in a safe and contained facility on the top floor of Raccoon City General Hospital. They're waiting for this. If we can get this to them, they can turn this into a cure, and we have a shot at actually neutralizing this outbreak. Max slows the car to a stop. Pauline continued. What are you doing? Why are you stopping? Ahead, streetlights shine down on a horrid scene. A stretch of road that is blocked by a mob of infected. Exeter City Street. Continuous. A dozen infected block the road. 2 men fused at the torso, rolling back and forth, unable to stand. A woman with a red tentacle erupting from the center of her face that slaps at the street around her. Pauline, plow through them!
I can't wait to see this, like, visually, when the movie comes out. Oh my god.
Max shifts into park. Max, it's not a tank. We have to clear it. Stay here.
Why isn't it a tank? You're the Umbrella Corporation.
Max throws open his door. Paul. Brian. Don't get out. Yo, where you going? Max steps out and paces toward the infected. Brian and Pauline watch as Max, all business, cleans house. He raises his pistol. Blam! Headshot. Another zombie rushes him, but he whirls expertly. Blam! Headshot. He keeps pivoting as more come at him. Blam, blam, blam. Headshot, headshot, headshot. Brian continued. Holy shit, he's really good at this.
Yeah, we can see it. Fuck you. Shut up.
Pauline. Yeah, that was fucking cool.
Why does she have to join in on this shit? Oh, this fucking Marvel ruined everything. People think they could just get away with writing this garbage. Monster Mangler, $5 super chat. Hey Jay Longbone, have you seen the Resident Evil 9 lobotomy version? I think you'll like it. I haven't seen it, but I'll see if I can check it out. Oh, this dialogue is shit! Well, I'm gonna rewind this 15 seconds.
He keeps pivoting as more come at him. Blam, blam, blam. Headshot, headshot, headshot. Brian continued. Holy shit, he's really good at this. Pauline. Yeah, that was fucking cool. Max whirls again. Blam! The last groaning zombie hits the street. Suddenly, Max goes rigid and turns away from them. Something in the mist has caught his attention. Pauline continued. What is this now? Max waits a long beat and then levels his gun at something we can't see and steps into the darkness. Brian. Whoa, 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 where's he? Max is gone. Pauline and Brian watch and wait. No sound but the wind in the trees. They sit rigid, studying the swirling dark. Brian continued. Where the hell did he go? Why did he do that? Pauline. I don't know. Brian. Did he just fucking leave us? They wait longer. Pauline. I'm sure he's fine, right? I mean, you saw how he lit those guys up? He's great at this stuff.
Yeah, that's why he's fucking dead. God forbid we have a competent male in the goddamn story. That's why he's dead. Whenever there's a group of people who cringily praise a guy doing anything correctly, it's probably going to end up in him being dead. Like, it's so transparent at this point. Like, Hollywood's not even good at hiding what they're doing. Ugh. Oh, single player Carl, you're here. What's up, Carl? Oh, so Jay got her hands on the RE script. Yes, I did. And it's trash.
Still nothing. Just the eerie whistle of wind. Pauline continued. Let's go. Brian, let's go. Pauline points at the cooler. Pauline, this is my responsibility. All right, to get this to that building, not you, not him. If he's not coming back, we have to keep moving. It's what he'd want. Brian, what he'd want? What is wrong with you? You're talking about him like he's dead? He just left. Pauline, well, where is he? Brian, I don't know. He might be 30 feet away. Give him a beat. Jesus. Beat. Again, they lean toward the windshield, listening, studying. No sound. Seconds feel like years. Brian continued. I think you're right. I think we gotta go. It's the responsible choice. Paul. It's what he would. Brian continued. Right. It's what he would want us to do. Pauline climbs over into the driver's seat, then pauses. Pauline. Where are the keys?
Yeah, that's right, dumbass.
Pauline checks the...
And also, why the fuck would he take the keys? Why'd he take the keys with him? If he's going right back to the car, if he's gonna if he's just gonna take out a few zombies to get out of their fucking way, why'd he take the keys? So fucking stupid.
Feels under the seat. Brian. They have to be somewhere. Pauline. Well, they're not. Realizing. God damn it. He took them.
Why? Why'd he do that?
Does he not trust us? That asshole?
Nah, that's dumb. Why would he not trust? Y'all gotta get the vaccine to the hospital. Why would he distrust you? What would be the fucking reason to just run off with the car? Does he maybe like he thinks that they think they're gonna get some kind of reward for the vaccine? I don't know.
A beat as they both consider the situation, and then Pauline continued. One of us has to go out there. Brian. Go out. There? Into hell? Really? Pauline. We can't just sit here. Am I wrong? Brian. Can you call like another Max guy? Pauline. There's no other Maxes. That's the Max. That's the only one. Brian thinks. He cranes to look behind him and sees a heavy black case in the trunk. He grabs it, hauls it into the seat, and snaps it open to reveal another MP5.
Yeah.
Brian. Gun. Pauline. Huh? Pauline turns and looks at the case. Brian. There's a big gun here. Pauline. Well, what are you waiting for? Go. Brian. I don't know anything about guns. Pauline. I don't either. Another beat of...
Nigga, learn how to use it like you learned how to use the other 2 guns you used in the fucking movie. Nigga. Are you fucking serious? Like, we're slightly more than halfway through the movie, by the way. But like, what? I don't know how to use guns. Well, learn, bitch, learn.
Hesitation from Brian. Then, Brian. God damn it. Brian grabs a clip and tries to slide it into the gun, but can't figure out how it goes in. Pauline. What are you doing? Brian. I'm trying to figure this shit out. Pauline. Oh, would you just flip it around? Brian flips it over. Pauline continued. No, not over, around, like...
Oh my god. This can't take shit seriously.
Brian flips it around and slides it in. Pauline continued. Yes, like that. Yes. Brian fumbles for the safety of the gun. Pauline continued. What are you... Brian. I'm looking for the safety. They all have the safety in different places, man. It's confusing.
We are wasting time with this bull, and it's not even funny. It's not funny. It's not charming. Hurry up! Let's go! Do either of y'all have phones where, you know, you can use YouTube and watch a YouTube review on how to use an MP5? I'm expecting him to go that far. Prince Vegeta, but he has to keep the R in resident, if you know what I mean. If you know what I'm saying. Prince Vegeta can't aura farm. No, can't do that. No.
Wait, here it is. He flicks off the safety and triumphantly cocks the gun and blam! The gun goes off, firing into the dashboard.
Oh my god!
They both grab their ears. Pauline. Jesus, what are you doing? You don't shoot a gun in a car? Brian. I didn't do it intentionally. I'm not a gun guy. Have I not been clear about that?
All you have to do is not squeeze the fucking trigger, nigga.
Pauline. You could have shot through the engine block. Then what kind of trouble would
you know, like you did the last time?
Brian takes a breath and throws open the door. XT, street. Night. Brian steps out, slinging the strap of the gun over his shoulder. He looks toward the swirling darkness where Max disappeared. Brian. Shit. Okay, come on, you got this. He paces forward, moving at an agonizingly slow pace, 1 foot, then another, then enough. Honk! Brian jumps out of his skin and whirls around. Pauline is shooing him onwards through the windshield. Brian continued. I'm fucking going. Don't honk the fucking horn. Brian turns back toward the dark and moves deeper in. Swirls of mist and nothing. No monsters, no Max. Deeper in, he comes upon a shape, a body lying prone. Brian continued. Max. He takes another step closer. Brian continued. Max. Another step and the view becomes clear. Max is extremely dead, his bowels spread across the pavement. Brian gags and clamps a hand over his mouth. Brian can't. Oh, fuck. Brian spins in a panicked circle, aiming at the mist around him, but there's no sign of anything. He turns back to the body and sees the keyring is clipped onto the belt of Max's uniform.
Yeah,
So
somebody pointed out that we saw this in the trailer. Allron1, $7.99 super chat. Controversial take, but Weapons was mid. Starting off strong, but got real weak once the aunt was introduced and it got too silly. I don't think it got too silly. I think it was just silly enough. Not too silly to the point where I couldn't take certain things seriously. But this shit, this is some booty.
Close, inches away. Brian creeps toward him, reaching a cautious hand. His fingers tremble. Honk! Another blare of the car horn. Brian jumps again and whirls back toward the headlights.
I hate this bitch. Like, I know you're in a rush, but I also have to watch my ass because you're fucking useless as well. You don't have a weapon. So you can't cover me. Dumbass bitch.
Brian continued. Yo, stop! I'm doing it! Silence. Brian, muttering to himself, leans toward Max again. And Max's body abruptly slides 4 feet away from him, then stops. Something is pulling him further into the mist. Brian hesitates. Brian continued. The body slides again deeper into the...
Sty Games 279 Super Chat. I miss when Darth Vader said slurs in Fortnite.
the dark. Brian takes a frightened step after it, the keys still glinting within reach. He eyes them, sitting there, 4 feet away, ready to be grabbed. He looks up at the swirling dark beyond Max's body. Push in on Brian as he gathers all of his courage. Brian continued. Fuck it. He turns and speed walks back toward the headlights. Honk! Honk! Brian continued. I'm coming. Honk! 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 The honking growing more insistent, frantic, and a snatch of a yell in the wind. Pauline. Help! Brian. Shit. Brian starts to run. His view through the mist clears to reveal the car. Pauline is being pulled by the legs out the passenger window by a fleshy tentacle that has wrapped around her ankle. Pauline. Help me! She pounds the horn. Brian looks down the length of the tentacle to where it disappears into the mist. He can just make out a hint of red in the fog, the dress of the pedestrian monster. It steps out of the shadows and stares at him. Brian. Oh, fuck. Pauline, shoot it! Please shoot it! Brian aims at the monster, then the tentacle wrapped around Pauline's leg. Which part should he shoot? Pauline continued. Just shoot.
Shoot the fucking source of the problem, idiots. Prince Vegeta sounds like a clown jacking it.
Brian squeezes the trigger and the gun jumps to life, bucking and spraying wildly. Popo pop pop. Little spurts of blood erupt on the monster. The tentacle releases Pauline and retracts. Pauline falls to the ground, then pushes herself up and starts to run toward Brian. Brian, the cooler! Get the cooler!
Get to the cooler!
Pauline freezes, debating for a second, then darts back toward the car. The tentacle of the creature flails toward her again. Pop, 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 pop. Brian sprays the gun again, and the tentacle recoils. Pauline reaches through the window, grabs the cooler, and runs toward a side street. Brian continued. Come on! X'd alley. Moments later, Brian and Pauline huff around a bend and find themselves in a narrow alley. They make their way toward the rear, no sign yet of the monstrosity, but they can hear its approaching shrieks. Brian! Fuck me! They sprint past dumpsters and steaming vents. They round another corner and push down an even narrower passage until they come to a heavy wrought iron gate held shut by a chain and padlock. Brian continued. Really? Pauline. What are you doing? Just shoot it. Shoot the lockout. Brian. That doesn't work. I'm telling you. Monster. OS. Gra. The monster's shadow appears at the mouth of the passage behind them. Brian. Oh, shit. Brian looks at the lock. Fuck this. He pulls at the gate and sees that the chain is loose enough to allow for a narrow but perhaps navigable gap. Pauline. Thank you. Pauline wriggles through first without asking. Pauline continued. Come on! Brian follows, shoving himself through head first, but is snagged around the torso. He forgot to unstrap the MP5 and it's caught on the bars. Pauline sprints on down the alley, but Brian is stuck halfway through, head in, ass out, vulnerable as hell with his back to the monster.
Oh god, what was that fucking lyric from that rap song? Face down, ass up, that's the way I like to.
Which is now rounding the corner. Brian. Oh, fuck. Brian cranes to see the monstrosity. It lurches toward them. Brian manages to pull his body through the gap, but the gun is still wedged in the bars. He pulls uselessly at the strap. The monster barrels forward. Brian continued, "Ah!" Brian stops struggling. Somehow, a moment of clarity descends. He looks down to the MP5 and gently twists it vertically.
Yeah, dumbass.
The gun effortlessly slides through the bars. He's free. Pauline, come on, come on! Brian runs toward Pauline, not even looking back as the monster smashes into the iron gate. Ahead of them is a dead end. Brick walls on all sides. Pauline continued. We're fucked. We're so fucked. Brian. Baby, I support whatever you decide to do. Your body,
shit.
your choice.
Oh, God, yeah. All right, we're stuck again. Hang on. Yeah, 1 sec.
There! Pauline kneels over a manhole cover. She tries to pry it up and gives up immediately. Brian drops to his knees and shoves the barrel of his gun into the hole. He uses the gun like a crowbar, leveraging the lid up from its cradle. Brian continued. Grab it. Pauline squats and pulls at the cover, wrenching it aside. Behind them, the monster bends the bars of the gate, straining to wriggle through, but it's too large. Pauline and Brian look down into the dark of the sewer below. Pauline. I really have a hard time with dark and closed. Brian ignores her and slides down into the black. In sewer, continuous. Splash! Brian collapses into the tunnel. A foot of filthy water surges around him. A beat later, Pauline lands beside him. They pick themselves up and push deeper in. A few yards and it's almost pitch black in here. Brian gags and pulls his coat over his nose. Brian can't see shit in here. Pauline. Hold on. Bink. Pauline's flashlight pops on. They trudge through the heavy sludge. Pauline slings the cooler over her shoulder. Brian does likewise with the MP5. After about 20 yards, they pause. Pauline shines her light back the way they came. No sound of the monster, only their breathing and trickling water. They look back toward the tunnel ahead of them. Brian, please be going the right way. Please. Brian presses forwards, but after a few steps, realizes Pauline hasn't moved. He turns back. Brian continued. What? Pauline eyes him blankly. Brian continued. What? Let's go. Pauline, oddly calm. This cooler strap is digging into my shoulder in a weird way. Brian. What? Pauline. Let's trade. Pauline points to the gun in Brian's hands. Pauline continued. Cooler for gun?
She's up to something.
Brian. Sure, whatever. Brian steps back to Pauline, unslinging the gun.
You dumb as fuck. This bitch completely stops dead because, oh, a strap is digging into my shoulder. We should give me the gun and I'll give you the... Get the fuck out of here. No, what you need to be saying is just let me hold both the gun and the cooler. How about that? I'll hold both. Fuck it. Because I don't trust you, bitch.
He hands it over and Pauline snatches it up and immediately jumps back, aiming it at Brian. Pauline, don't fucking move. Don't try anything. Show me your arm. Brian looks down and sees that the infection is showing on his wrist.
Well, okay, he was infected, though, so...
Brian, okay, just hang on a sec. Pauline, you're infected. Brian, wait. Pauline's not listening. She plants the gun on her shoulder and aims it at Brian's head. Brian hoists the cooler up in front of his face. Pauline lowers her aim down to his belly. Brian adjusts. Pauline, stop that. Brian, fuck you, don't shoot me. Pauline, fuck you, you're gonna eat me. Pauline aims.
Sty Games, 279 Super Chat. Lord of Ring Gollum is better than this movie script.
Back at his face, and again, Brian raises the cooler. Brian, Pauline, wait. It's a cure, right? If we get it to the hospital before I turn, I could save myself.
The fact that you haven't turned by now is so fun. Usually people let this slide in other horror films or other vampire films, zombie films. In any film where you turn, you turn very quickly. But the fact that you have not turned by now is crazy. It's been so fucking long. The fact that nothing has happened yet is crazy.
Pauline, you're never going to make it in time. Brian, we don't know that. This happened like an hour ago, and I'm still me. Is he getting through? Pauline looks conflicted. Brian continued. Please, my girlfriend, she's pregnant. I just want the chance to be there when my kid is born. Pauline hesitates. Brian looks at her, pleading. Brian continued. Please, just let me have that chance. Pauline softens. Did it work? Is she gonna... Then she clenches her jaw and raises the gun back toward his face and pulls the trigger. Brian squeezes his eyes shut. Nothing happens. Pauline tries again. Nothing. Pauline. Where's the safety? Where's the fucking safety on this? Brian. I'm not fucking telling you. Blur! From deep in the tunnel comes a hideous belching noise. They
What?
freeze. Whatever.
I'm already guessing that it's the fat zombie character, but he lets out a loud burp. Oh, this movie's gonna be so whack when it comes out. It's gonna be so whack. Burp. They're breaking the tension, him talking about how he wants to get home to his pregnant girlfriend, his life almost ending, then burp. This is so goddamn retarded.
Whatever that was, it was big. Brian continued. What the fuck? Blurp. Brian gestures to Pauline. Brian continued. Gun. No argument. Pauline shoves the gun into Brian's hands and scoots behind him, peering out. Brian flicks the safety off. Brian continued. Light. Pauline shines her light forwards, but it only offers a few yards of visibility. Blurp. Pauline. Oh, what the fuck is that? Seriously. They inch forward and come to a T-junction. Brian looks left. Darkness. He looks right, and 50 yards away, pale blue light pours down through a grate. Sitting perfectly still in the center of the tunnel beneath it is a large, obese, naked man.
Wait a minute, though. I didn't see her in the goddamn trailer. I didn't see her in the trailer, did y'all? It was just him. Did they digitally remove her ass? Wait a minute. See, I can't get to... Hold on. I think I'm going to have to look at it myself, but I don't remember seeing her ass. She was not in that fucking trailer. Hang on. Hold on, I'm gonna look at this right
And
quick.
it looks like there's a chance that we might not get to talk to each other again.
Yeah, where's she at? She ain't behind him. They digitally removed her ass. They had to have removed her. Or maybe she's like a little further back, but that doesn't make sense. Just some random naked nigga. Okay. But she's not in the shot. She's not in the shot! Cynical person. So the thumbnail guy. Yeah. Holly Fauci, lol, they knew they packed a girl boss in this and tried to hide it. To be fair, she's not really a girl boss. She's just a cunt. And she's actually is. I mean, it depends on how they portray her in the film, but she actually is incompetent as fuck. Yummy Yum. Remember Jay Longbone? They also make it seem like he's calling his girlfriend from a touch-tone phone when in the script he's calling from his cell phone. Yeah. A lot of manipulation in that trailer. But she is not in the shot when he finds that fucking thing. Like I said, it could be an alternate shot where she's just not there for some reason. But like when he drops into the sewer, she's not there. When he's behind, like when he's confronting that big fat ass thing, she's not there. Like they deliberately made sure to keep her out of the goddamn trailer.
Like a toddler, with his legs spread before him, arms at his sides, and a slack, stupid expression on his face. He's chalk pale and hairless from head to toe. His presence here feels impossible, almost like a hallucination. Pauline clamps a hand over her mouth, fighting a gag. Brian stands rigid, aiming his gun at the fat man, struggling to make sense of what he's looking at. The man makes no motion except to take a ragged, uneven breath every few seconds. He's definitely alive. His enormous white belly seems to spasm. Whether it's from inhalation or something else is impossible to know. Brian takes a step closer. Brian, hello? Pauline whispers, don't talk to him.
Yeah, she's right.
Brian ignores her and moves closer. The man's eyes are shut and his chin rests on his chest as if he's nodded off. His huge man boobs slump toward either limp arm.
His huge man boobs. Idiot Toasted $4.99 super chat. DuckTales reboot had an episode where one of them needed to pick a lock and just looks up how to do it on his phone. We could all learn from DuckTales. Facts.
His giant belly hangs over his lap. Brian. Sir? Pauline.
Sir? Nigga?
Just
Yeah, she's right. You're being an idiot right now. Mouseketeer, $2 super chat, a bait and switch trailer, most definitely. Yeah, they make it seem like he's the only one going through all this shit. Like, trying to make it look the most like the game as possible. Until you get to the theater and realize some mouthy bitch is with him the whole, like, half the goddamn time.
shoot him. Something in the belly pulses, and Brian and Pauline freeze. Brian. Oh, shit. Brian notices on the wall beside him. Iron rungs forming a ladder. He cranes and sees that they lead up through a concrete chute above. A way out? He looks from the ladder back to the fat man. Brian continued. Yo, are you okay, ma? Sploosh.
Shut up.
The fat man's belly swells and explodes, and from within come forth a torrent of rats.
Oh. Is this a thing from the game? It feels like it sounds familiar. I just don't know if it was from Resident Evil. Splursh.
In a river, they come bounding across the fat man's legs and straight for Brian and Pauline. As they approach, we see that these are
Yummy Yum, not even close.
not ordinary sewer rats, but pale, hairless, mutated rats, with wiry, knotted tails that jut from their bodies in uneven tangles. Pauline. Oh, God. Brian doesn't even think. He raises the gun and
No, just run. Well, you know, it's not fair. You might have to, yeah, you might have to shoot some of them.
pop, 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 pop. Rats explode and trip over themselves in the carnage of gunfire, but there's too many of them. More of them still surge out of the obese man's belly. He throws back his head and moans in ecstasy as the rats pour of his guts. Brian, come on the ladder.
Like, oh, I'm gonna call these rats. Are hitting every spot.
Pauline and Brian haul ass toward the ladder, running up a small concrete ramp. Pauline's foot slips out from under her, and she goes down hard.
Oh,
She tries to
idiots.
pull herself up, but the rats swarm all over her.
Mm.
She holds out a hand to Brian. Pauline, help me. Her cry is cut off by a rat squirming into her mouth.
Oh.
We see her throat bulge as the rat goes down her trachea.
Oh.
Still more rats swarm over Pauline.
Yeah, leave her, bro. Leave her. Leave her.
Toward Brian. In seconds, Pauline is completely subsumed by the squirming mass. Brian aims his gun at the horde of rats and squeezes the trigger, unloading the rest of the cartridge, screaming, spraying it back and forth until it's empty. The mist of blood and smoke thins. He shredded them all. He gunned the herd of rats into goo. Pauline's corpse, riddled with gunfire, is in the middle of the mess, one hand still reaching out limply. Brian. Holy shit. But then there's movement in the carnage. Rat chunks sprout tendrils. Tendrils find tendrils.
Mm.
The array of gore begins to slide into itself and coalesce.
Damn. Like, this sounds cool, but it's not Resident Evil at all. This is the thing. This is the fucking thing. CP2 Barbarossa, $2 super chat. Rats hitting the G virus spot.
Brian fights the urge to vomit as the dead rats begin to merge with Pauline's corpse to create. Brian continued. Fuck no.
Mm.
He's not going to stick around and find out. He grabs the iron rungs in the wall beside him and climbs. X Street. Night. He emerges from the sewer and rolls into the street, panting heavily, finally catching his breath when... Chitter, chitter, chitter. A survivor. Rat scrambles up his leg. Brian screams, grabs the rat, and smashes it down into the street. It splats. Brian rises, slapping at himself, then peers back down into the manhole. Inside, the rat/Pauline blob surges and roils.
Mm.
Brian kicks the little squished rat down the hole and slams the manhole cover shut again. He turns to face the hospital. It's shrouded in mist, but it's just a couple blocks ahead. He's almost there. He pats the cooler. Brian, come on, baby, and begins to limp down the street. 5 steps. 10. It's eerily quiet. He keeps trudging ahead. A gust of wind blows through the street, clearing the fog ahead of him. City center, office buildings lining the road, and standing on the roof of a building up on the right, an infected fast food worker clad in a stained apron stares down at Brian like a gargoyle. Brian continued, "What is this shit now?" The man isn't moving, just watching, eyes tracking him. Brian freezes.
Okay, I think I know what this part is. When he's running through the street and all those zombies like fall on top of the cars. I think that's where we're at.
Looking from the infected fast food worker to the hospital looming ahead, so close. Brian, kind. Fuck it, let's go. Brian's grip tightens on the cooler and he makes a run for it, sprinting past the building. The fast food worker's jaw drops open and he lets out a horrid cry. He runs toward the edge of the roof and leaps, arms pinwheeling, descending in an arc toward Brian. Brian continued. Holy. The worker pancakes himself on the ground, exploding right in front of Brian. Brian
Dumbass.
continued. Jesus. Brian takes a stunned moment, clocking just how close he came to getting nailed. Brian continued. Stupid. Brian starts to move again, tiptoeing through the goo that was the fast food worker. He picks up the pace, running between 2 more high-rises. The hospital is only 2 blocks away. Brian continued. We made it. Let's go. Infected. OS. He looks up to see a crowd of infected lining the rooftops of the buildings on either side, all staring down at him. Brian, you gotta be fucking... Another creature lets out a scream. Then another and another, building into a horrible chorus. Brian sprints while keeping one eye up. The first of the roof monsters, a fused zombie of mother and daughter, runs forward and leaps off the roof, falling in a loose arc until it explodes on the ground in front of Brian. Brian continued. Fuck. Brian leaps over the gore and keeps going like a running back heading for the end zone. We sweep down the street over the long roof. As one after another, the infected sprint toward the edges of the roof and leap. An infected blob comprised of 3 children. A monster of a fused man and his dog. An old lady. They plummet through the air, arms pinwheeling, reaching for Brian, screeching, and one after another they splatter around him.
That's fucking dumb. But yeah, you think they would, or you think they would at least be smart enough, like not smart, strong enough to withstand the impact. But I guess they must be that high up in the air. But still, it's whatever.
Brian is pelted with sprays of gore as he runs this gauntlet, bodies detonating all around him. Finally, half a block from the hospital, the chaos has stopped. He slows to a trot and looks back. The street is filled with the remains of the infected. Brian continued. God damn. He fiddles with the gun and
Holy Fauci, why not have Brian fight them? You know fucking why. Can't look too badass. Come on.
Braces it against his shoulder, ready for the remains to reanimate. Nothing happens. He jerks the gun, on full alert. Brian continued. Are you dead? No movement, just pancake goo. Brian lowers his guard a bit. He looks up at the rooftops. Brian continued. So you can die.
Yeah, very easily it seems.
Time to go. He turns and looks to the hospital. For the first time, he takes in its condition. The building looks like a war zone. Various ragged holes belch smoke here and there. Windows shattered. Signs of infected everywhere. Only the top floor has power. The glow of electric light forming a halo. That's where I need to go. Through the lobby doors, he spots a crowd of infected. No going in that way. To the right of the lobby, he sees the parking garage. A metal gate is pulled down, blocking the entrance. Brian runs to it, tries to pull it up. No dice. A massive lock on the left side of the gate. Brian continued. What is with all the fucking padlocks in this city? Damn.
Oh, shut up, you idiot.
Damn. Brian scratches his head and thinks. He looks at the MP5 by his side. Maybe not the right tool for this job. He pulls the pistol from his belt. Here we go. He takes 2 steps back from the lock and slowly raises the pistol, sighting the lock above its little sight. Brian continued. Come on, baby. Here we go. Bang! A chunk of concrete explodes a solid foot from the lock. Brian continued. God damn it, I suck at guns.
Oh,
Shit.
Idiots.
Angry, Brian steps forward and presses the pistol to the padlock. Bang! The lock cracks open. Brian continued. Fucking locks.
Oh, yeah, you see, because when you play the Resident Evil game, you get really annoyed by how many locks there are. And he's so relatable as a protagonist because he represents us when we play the game and there's so many locks. Oh, fuck this.
He grabs the grate of the parking garage and hauls it open. A dark expanse stretches before him. In parking garage, continuous. He steps inside and pulls the grate closed behind him. He stares outside past the ramp, searching for any sign of pursuing threat. But the coast seems clear. He makes his way deeper into the dark. It's silent and still in here. Brian digs out his phone and his flashlight pops to life. He raises it, scanning the lot. Every gap between cars, every pillar, every pocket could hide something new and terrible. Brian! Hello? His voice echoes back at him. For a long moment, he just stares and listens. No sound in here. Brian continued. It's cool. I'm fine. I'm okay. He moves deeper in. At the far end of the garage, an elevator bay looms like a dim beacon. Brian continued. Jackpot. He quickens his pace, shining the light to either side as he goes. No sign of anything. Brian continued. Come on, baby. Come on. He arrives at the elevator, and his smile dissolves when he sees a card reader above the call button. Brian presses the button. It doesn't illuminate. Brian continued. For real? He presses it again. Nothing. Brian continued. I need a fucking... Really?
Yeah, this is totally just to... It's to emulate a player's frustration when they need a key or that they come across a lock that they need to get open and they gotta go get it. But, like, you haven't... The monsters are nothing like Resident Evil. You got no Resident Evil characters. You just have vague mentions of Raccoon City and shit. Like, you're not. Come on, you're not blowing my skirt up with this shit.
He jabs at it rapid fire, but it's useless. Brian continued. I came all this way and I can't. This is the end here. He pounds.
Oh, wait, Jerome, and then and then that big black chick from Loki comes out of a portal and hits him with a baton. We did it, y'all. Arturo Vegas. How many pages we got left? Fuck. 24 pages. And then we out and we done.
The button, but it's no use. Brian continued. It ends here like this? Then he notices his arm. The bite has gotten drastically worse. White scabs spreading up toward his hand, flaking off in big swaths. He pulls up his sleeve and sees that it's traveling up his forearm and into his bicep. Brian continued. My God. A wave of panic hits him, and he unstraps the cooler and the MP5, dropping them. He rips off his jacket in a quiet tantrum. Brian continued. Please. He tears open his shirt, almost crying now. He steps to the window of a nearby car and studies his reflection. The infection has moved all the way up his arm and is spreading its venom into his torso. Despair. He flops down and sits against the car, staring at his arm, utterly hopeless. A few feet...
Oh, I wonder what's going to happen next, because, you know, he's done.
In front of him is a parked minivan, and on the back windshield is one of those stickers of the stick figure family. A little stick dad, and a little stick mom, and a little stick child. A wave of anguish.
You didn't feel that
Phone
way?
from his pocket.
You didn't feel that way when you saw kids fused with their parents and shit? Alright, whatever.
The street is filled with the remains of the infected. Brian continued. God damn. He fiddles with the gun and braces it against his shoulder, ready for the remains to reanimate.
Oh, wait, we're stuck again. Hang on. Moondoggy, $2 super chat. This is as bad as the Powerpuff Girl script. Don't want to see. Alright, hang on. I gotta get out of this.
Wave of anguish. He digs his phone from his pocket. Still no bars. He opens up voice memo and starts another recording. Brian continued. This is for Ashley. He wipes his face, gathers himself. Brian continued. Hey, sweetie. It looks like there's a chance I might not get to talk to you again, and that means we won't be able to finish our conversation from earlier tonight. But it's a really important conversation, and I want you to know how I feel about it. I hate my response. I hate that my first reaction was one of fear. I think I've felt afraid of change and of growing up. And the idea of having a baby means that all that is coming, whether I want it or not. But I've felt a lot of fear tonight in a different way. More. Brian continued. Like some really scary shit has gone down that I'll probably never be able to tell you about. But the one good thing about it is that it's made me realize something. It's made me realize that I do want it. I do want to have a kid with you. And I should have said what you wanted right away with no hesitation. Ashley, I love you, and nothing would make me happier than to start a family with you. He cracks a little bit, but clears his throat. Brian continued, and whatever happens tonight, and whatever you decide, I just wanted you to know that. He ends the recording and the dam bursts. Tears. Snotty, pathetic, childlike tears. Brian continued, I don't want to. He does that little kid thing where you're crying so hard you can't even make a sound. Just a silent, suspended wail. Brian continued, I never got to meet my daughter. Pity party becomes a pity rager. Brian.
Oh, wait. Lo-Fi Blood, R.I.P. Brian S. Kennedy.
Kind. I never got to meet my own daughter. He reaches for the MP5 that sits on the ground near his feet and pulls it into his lap. He wipes his face, takes a deep, shaky breath, and holds the gun in both hands, considering its possibilities. Is he gonna fucking off himself right here and now? Snot and tears pump from his face. He wraps the gun and...
Yeah, keep in mind, that's not the AI asking the question. That's actually a note in the fucking script. Is he gonna fucking off himself right here and now? Bro! Like, oh god. Lame.
Speaker, OS. Hello? Brian freezes. What the fuck? Speaker, OS, continued. Can you hear me? He looks around. Speaker, OS, continued. Dude in the parking garage. I'm talking to you. He weakly points at his chest, looking for the source. Speaker, OS, continued. Yeah, you, the crying guy. He wipes
can y'all just take this shit fucking seriously? That's all I'm asking.
his face and collects himself. He stands. Brian, hello. Speaker, OS. I can't hear you. Brian cups his hands around his mouth and yells. Brian, hello. Speaker, OS. No, come press the intercom button. Brian sees a small intercom near the elevator button. He moves to it and presses it. Brian, hello? Speaker, OS. There you go. Hi. Brian waits. He leans forwards and presses the button again. Brian. I'm Brian. Speaker, OS. Hey, Brian, I'm Carl. I have no idea how you got into the garage there, but it's kind of a miracle you're alive. Brian. You don't know the half of it, man. Listen, I have this thing here. Lifts cooler. And I'm told you guys could use this, so I'm here. He releases the button. Speaker, OS. Oh my God, he has it right there. Brian cocks his head. Brian. What? Speaker, OS. Holy shit, I'm looking at it, guys, she has it. Brian, yo, I can't hear you, man. Speaker, OS. I'm sorry. It's just, listen, we need you to bring that up to us right away. Brian. Okay, cool, man. That's what I'm saying. How do I get up there?
Throw down. Carl, you're here.
The elevator isn't opening. Speaker, OS. I'm not sure if you saw from the street, but this building's had a lot of activity lately. Brian. Yeah, man, it looks like some serious shit up there. Speaker, OS. Listen, this building has taken a lot of damage and it's not advisable to use the elevator. You really should play it safe and take the stairs. He eyes a sign right next to the elevator reading, "Take stairs in case of emergency," with an arrow pointing to a nearby door. Brian, what floor are you on? Speaker, OS. Top floor? Brian, okay, right. What number's that? Speaker, OS. 28. Brian raises his eyebrows. Brian, you think I should take the stairs to the 28th floor? Speaker, OS. I think that's safest, yes. Brian, yeah. Brian does not want to do that. But
Did this nigga really say,
OS.
"Oh yeah, you got to take the stairs to the 28th floor," and this nigga's like, "Yo, yeah, just fuck all that sincerity we had like a minute ago. Fuck it, who cares, right?"
Please hurry. It's vital that we get the sample as soon as possible. Brian, yeah, right. Got it. He lets go of the button. Brian continued. Want me to walk up 28 flights of fucking...
Man, stop
It's still-
complaining. How the fuck? Don't complain. Fuck out of here with that. You were just worried you were gonna die, and I was like, oh, now I gotta go upstairs. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Take the shit seriously.
night. Brian stands at the bottom of the stairs, looking up at the daunting 28-story spiral. He clutches the cooler closer to him and begins to leg it upward. Brian reaches the landing of the second story. Still going strong. Third story. He pauses, out of breath, but still determined. He looks up and begins to move again. Fourth story. He's wheezing, doubled over, completely out of breath. Once more, he looks up at the domineering spiral above. Brian, this is... No one could do this.
Leon could
Into
do
fourth
this.
floor elevator bay. Night. Brian stands in front of the elevator, still wheezing, finger hesitating over the call button. Brian, gonna fucking die. He presses the button. Waits. Ding. The elevator doors in front of him slide open. Just a normal elevator car. He leans in cautiously, peering around, examining every corner. The doors try to close. He waves an arm and they open again. Into elevator. Continuous. He takes a deep breath and steps inside. The doors close. Brian presses the button for the top floor. A beat as the elevator rises. Brian, God damn, I should have done this. 4 fucking... Creature. OS. Distant. Rare. What the fuck was that? Brian. That was just the cables being normal. The elevator ascends. Brian clutches the MP.
One thing, the motherfucker told you not to take the elevator because it might not be that safe. Idiots.
MP5. He hears a new sound, a light pattering like rainfall. Brian continued. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Sizzling, like an egg frying.
Oh, stop. No, we gotta rewind that. That was funny.
Which is the MP5. He hears a new sound, a light pattering like rainfall. Brian continued. What the fuck? Then another sound.
What the fuck? Fuck out of here. Jerome, $2 super chat. If this is not in the movie, would I don't even know what the hell that stands for. I don't see. Yeah, I don't understand what you're trying to say, Jerome. I don't understand that. Oh, god damn it.
A sizzling, like an egg frying. Brian looks up to see. The roof of the elevator is melting. Greenish-brown acid is corroding the roof, starting to drip through.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what were like the acid spitting? It was liquors, right? It was the liquors spit acid, right? Or was it something else? I think there were 2 different types of liquors. I think there were the ones with the acid, and then the ones with the tongues, the regular ones. I think.
Yells out and ducks back against the wall, just as a slop of acid splats down on the center of the floor, immediately eating through the tile. Brian continued. What the fuck? Droplets of acid spatter onto Brian's shoulder and begin to sizzle through his jacket.
Idiot.
Brian continued. Fuck. Brian slaps at his shoulder. He looks up through the spreading hole in the roof, now affording a view of the elevator shaft. Several flights up, he catches view of a bloated monster standing in the doorway at the edge of the shaft, leaning out, looking down at him. The creature opens its mouth and screeches, then vomits another shower of acid down at him. Brian continued, Oh, fucking God damn it, please! Brian leaps to the opposite wall as the torrent of acid hits the wall and dissolves it, revealing the elevator shaft sliding past. The elevator car is literally dissolving around him. Brian pulls out his pistol and gives it a quick kiss. Brian continued, Come on, baby, make this count. He plants his feet, grips the gun tightly in both hands, and aims it up at the creature. POV.
Okay, but wait a minute. What if the monster is all acid, and then you shoot him and he explodes into acid? I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Trembling hands gripping the pistol, the sights lining up on the creature's head. Brian continued, Come on. Bang. The bullet sparks off the wall beside the puker. Ping, 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 ping. It ricochets around the elevator shaft until finally it smacks into the wood paneling beside Brian, leaving a neat little hole next to his head. Brian continued, Fuck. The creature vomits acid again. Brian jumps forward just in time as the wall behind him dissolves. He now clings to the last solid corner of the car, the walls on every side dissolving.
Jesus Christ.
And still he's rising toward the creature. Brian continued, Oh, God. He tucks the pistol into his belt, and the floor beneath him completely gives out. Brian cries out and grabs onto the button panel, clinging for dear life. His feet dangle over the cavernous fall. He looks down to reveal the giant monstrosity that's been pursuing him from the beginning. It's at the base of the shaft, climbing its way up, the pedestrian's red dress flapping in the darkness. It's 7 floors down, but unmistakably gaining. Brian continued, Oh, fuck. He turns his attention to the creature above him. He's still rising, closing the distance. It opens its mouth and lets fly another torrent of corrosive blood. This time.
How the fuck, like, as much, like, as dumb as this nigga is, like, he also has a lot of plot armor, because it ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way! I mean, I guess now the acid's gonna kill the pedestrian, hopefully. I hope so. So he's gonna, like, so I guess here's what's gonna happen. Brian's gonna, like, try to swing, because it's such a video game scenario, too, because you would, like, swing in different directions. Like, the pedestrian, like, the monster, the enemy at the bottom of the shaft is coming up. So whenever the acid spit comes at you, you gotta swing in the other direction and make sure it hits the enemy at the bottom. Yeah, total video game scenario. I just wish it wasn't wasted on this piece of shit. Or Master DX last minute bets the pedestrian is gonna be Ashley. He would recognize his own girlfriend, though. He'd recognize his own girlfriend. He should have known from jump that was his girlfriend. Yummy Yum. He's been nailing all those QuickTime events. What can I say?
I'm aimed right at him. Brian grabs at a dangling cable and heaves himself aside, just barely dodging the spray. Brian continued, Gah! In the next moment, he's closed the gap, now level with the puker. He swings forward, plants his feet on the floor beside it, and pulls himself onto solid ground. NT elevator lobby, 15th floor. Continuous. The puker turns to face him, the two of them now only a foot apart. It gags, prepping one massive spew that would be a game ender. Brian. Anna, hell no. Brian grabs its head with both hands and slams it backward into the wall, twisting its face away from him. Brian continued. You trying to puke on me? You dirty mother. Puker. Glug. Monster. OS. The sounds of the climbing monster below getting louder. Brian holds the puker tight and leans forward, peering down to get a fresh look at the monstrosity. It's closing in fast. Brian, God damn it, leave me the fuck. He yanks the puker's head, pulling it over the shaft, aiming it like a fireman holding a hose. Brian continued. Alone. The puker spasms and then blows chunks, spewing a gust of fresh acid. This time, Brian steers the flow straight down into the climbing abomination. The acid makes a direct hit on the monstrosity. It steams and sizzles, dissolving flesh into an instant smear of blood and gore, melting every part of the creature that it contacts. Monster! Ah!
I can't believe I was defeated by this weasel.
Defensively, then lets out a screech of rage. Its tentacles shoot out, gripping the doors of the landing several floors below. It wrenches them open and worms into the lower hall and out of sight. Brian stands at the top, still holding the puker in a headlock. Brian, that's right. Fuck you. He looks down at the writhing thing in his arms. Puker. Glug glug. Brian, and fuck you too. He shoves it forward and the puker plummets down the shaft. Puker. Brian watches it fall and lets out a satisfied sigh. Brian. Goddamn right. He looks down at his steaming shoes. Brian continued, dissolve my fucking Nikes off. He turns and takes in his new surroundings. He's in a hallway, the city outside some 15 floors below. He's made progress. He pops the clip out of his handgun and studies it. Brian continued. One bullet left? Only one? He pops the clip back in and tucks it in his waistband. He pulls the clip from the MP5. Brian continued. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 shots. He reloads the MP5 and looks around. Brian continued. Okay, stairs. Stairs are good.
Yeah, it's almost like you should have done that in the first place.
Laminated map for emergencies. He studies it. There's a staircase on the opposite side of the building. But to get there, he'll have to cut through. His gaze swivels to a set of doors labeled maternity.
I already know what this is going to be.
Exhale. NT, hospital/intensive care unit. Night. Doors creak open. Brian peers into the ICU and freezes at the sight of what's ahead of him. It's a vision out of hell. Row after row of baby-sized cribs/incubators grid the room. Each one cradles a large pink, pulsating blob where the baby should be, or perhaps once was. The walls are coated with a thick layer of gore and crimson viscera and large adult-sized...
Like, story and characters aside, like, there's some good ideas here. Just like, damn, why did you have to put, like, the Resident Evil label on it? Like, why? Because it ain't Resident Evil. And I don't like that this lead character sucks dick. Actually, all the characters suck dick, except for maybe Max. But then he took his keys and then died. Oh. Like the thing with the acid thing idea, like holding the freak and then aiming him, good idea. But you know, it ain't Resident Evil. Retired on Mars, $6.99 super chat. Jill spent all of RE3 outmaneuvering and fighting Nemesis, surviving from a virus in the process, while this guy couldn't climb a few fucking stairs.
Fleshy egg sacs stick to the ceiling. Brian gags at the smell and resists the urge to flee. On the far side of the room is a set of swinging double doors, but the path there is narrow and weaves between the sack-topped cribs. Brian steels himself and creeps forwards, making as little noise as possible. His shoes squish on the ground. He winces, then carries on. He kneels and gently grabs a nearby MOP and uses it to push a cradle that blocks his path, rolling it aside. As it rolls, he ventures a peek in. The dark infantile blob within the sack stirs briefly. Brian. Gross. He looks above him at a massive blob on the ceiling. An adult figure suspended within makes no move. Brian continued. Gross. He uses the mop to push another rolling cradle to the side. Brian continued. Gross. He's almost cleared a path forwards when the bed knocks into a flesh sack on the wall with a squish, and the sack begins to move and swell. Brian continued. Oh, come on, please don't. Pop. The sack explodes like a paint bomb, splattering Brian and the environs with a pink coating of amniotic fluid. He staggers backwards, knocking into another crib. Pop, another wet detonation behind him.
Another wet
Brian
detonation.
Continued. God! Pop, pop, pop. The chain reaction has begun. Baby sacks exploding into each other like some organic Rube Goldberg machine. Brian squats and covers himself against the flying slime that seems to be coming from every direction.
Yeah, Adam Milan, 250 RSD. I just joined the stream, and the first word I hear is puker. Okay, you're the best, baby girl. P.S. Falcon and the Winter Soldier when? Soon, one day, I swear. Yeah, I think we saw that little scene from the trailer as well. Seems like there's going to be like little zombie demon babies that are going to come after him. Oh boy.
And then it's over. He cowers in the center of the room, dripping in gunk. Brian continued. Sato. What the actual fuck? For a long beat, there's no sound, save for the wet drips of goo falling from every surface. Brian opens an eye and peers around him. All is still, and then, on the cradle nearest to him, a tiny mutant baby hand grips the edge. Something round and wet behind it slowly raises itself into view. Brian doesn't even wait to see the rest. He shoves the crib over onto its side and starts toward the doors.
Why did you do that? Why did you do that? So you let the fucker out of the damn crib. Because I don't give a damn. Yeah, it could just jump out at you from out the crib. But still, why would you make it easier? Why would you dumb motherfucker? Oh. This is gonna, like, here's a prediction. Here's what I think how this movie's gonna be received. Probably some good special effects, good monster effects. People are gonna praise that. Some horror elements, but people are gonna absolutely hate this fucking lead character. I can already call it now. The actor will probably give a good performance, but I think the character itself, like, people are gonna hate it. People are gonna hate the story and the humor and shit, but they're gonna like all the monster stuff because that's what's coming off to me. That's how it's all coming off to me. Like, I like all this gross shit. It works. It's not Resident Evil, but it's good for. All you got to do is make your own horror film with these themes and just not make it Resident Evil. But I guess someone got to him and was like, "Please put Resident Evil on it, please. We need a Resident Evil movie to put out, please." Lo-fi Inkblood, because Jay, we need a creepy baby scene like in an RE8 and RE9.
Floor and lands hard on his stomach. He picks himself up and comes face to face with another mutant baby perched on a nearby crib. Baby. Whap! Brian swings the mop like a baseball bat and sends the toddler flying.
Stop! I mean, I know they're demon babies and you gotta kill them. I understand, but goddamn, he swings them up and sends the toddler flying. Get the fuck out of here! That's hilarious. And it goes wet. You know, it reminds me of that It reminds me of that fucking Kendrick Lamar song. Wet, 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 wet. Brian, fuck him up. Wet, 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 wet. I'm gonna do my stuff. I can't wait till the movie comes out so I can do an edit for that, because that's so fucking funny. Wet, 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 wet. Brian, fuck him up.
And comes face to face with another mutant baby perched on a nearby crib.
Oh, God.
baby. Whap! Brian swings the mop like a baseball bat and sends the toddler flying. That's when he notices. The larger sacks on the ceiling have ruptured. Massive humanoid shapes come spilling slowly down toward the ground. Goo-covered eyes open and lock on.
Goo-covered eyes.
Terror. Brian sprints for the doors, knocks cribs aside and vaulting over others. He reaches the double doors, throws them open, and freezes. Ext. Hospital/destroyed Walnut. Past the doors, Brian finds himself on the edge of a cliff. A massive horizontal crater caused by some explosion has carved into the edge of the building. There's nothing here but cold, howling wind in the city below. Wrapping around the jagged space is a narrow ledge, some 8 inches wide, looping around the edge of the chasm to the opposite side where the hallway resumes. It's his only path forwards. Brian turns back and sees the wet, adult-sized creatures have touched down and are heading toward him. Brian. Oh, God. He pulls the double doors shut and shoves the MOP through the handles just as the nearest one slams into it. The door
that's not
rattles.
gonna hold.
The mop shakes, but holds strong.
I don't believe
Brian
that.
looks at the ledge ahead. He has no choice. Brian continued. This is horrible. This is the absolute fucking worst.
Shut
He
up.
presses his back against the wall of the building and inches his way onto the
Oh, I remember that from the trailer too. I remember that.
exposed steel beams. Brian, can't. I hate this. His heels cling to the remaining inches of the hallway as torrents of wind try to push him off balance. He's made it about 5 feet when a familiar, horrifying wail from below. Brian peers down and sees. The pedestrian monster looks up at him.
Oh my
from the ground,
God. You're still around? You're still here? Go away.
several stories below. Brian continued. Please, no.
This motherfucker thinks this, but the pedestrian is on the same level as Mr. X. Fuck out of here.
The creature leaps and grabs onto the edge of the building, its tentacles spearing into the walls. It withdraws one tentacle and stabs it in again higher up. The red dress flaps in the wind. Brian continued, God damn it, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I hit you with my car. Please fuck off.
Can you fucking take the situation? You were close to offing yourself like 10 minutes ago. Come on, bro.
It pulls itself up. 2 stories. 3. Brian inches along, laser focused. A foot slips, but he catches himself. Another cry from below, closer. It's closing the gap fast. He's not going to make it in time. The building shakes as the creature stabs its tentacles into the wall below him. Then, he sees something. A silhouette out of the corner of his eye. The giant slimy creatures press themselves like a mob against the double doors. The glass window shatters, but they're too stupid to reach through and grab at the broom handle. They clog the narrow window, reaching for him uselessly. Below him, the creature continues its climb. Brian aims the MP5 and lets her rip.
Finally.
Pop, 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 pop. Little red divots pop across the monster's body, but don't slow it down. Brian pulls the trigger again, but the gun doesn't respond. It's empty. He pulls it free from his shoulder and hurls it at the monster. He misses. The gun goes tumbling out of sight.
Oh, wait. Seth Bird. Kreger claims he didn't have a nemesis-like creature in this movie. What the fuck is this? He just can't kill this bitch. Because this is basically what it is.
A writhing tentacle rises up and slams toward Brian. Brian ducks as the tentacle smashes into the building, nearly missing him. Below him, a cavity opens in the center of the creature, and from it comes a massive, inhuman roar. An idea dawns on Brian. His eyes light up. He turns to the zombies clogging the door. Brian continued. Hey, hey! They push against the door with renewed rage. Brian continued. Come and get me. I'm right here. The zombies screech and bang against the doors. The broom, jammed through the handles, shakes but holds. Brian continued. You want to eat me? You want to eat me? Brian pulls out his pistol. One bullet left. He looks from the creature below him to the door across from him. Brian continued. Please. Brian closes one eye, then aims the pistol at the broom jammed through the door handles. Brian continued. Please God, work. He holds his breath, steadies his hand, thinks a silent prayer, and blam! The bullet splinters the broom handle and the doors fly open. A perfect shot. Brian continued. Yes, yes! Video games, bitch!
Oh, cringe! Fuck! Cringe, cringe, cringe. Video games, bitch! Yeah, Mr. White. Yeah, science. Fuck. That was bad. That was ew. Ew.
In a surge, like a giant flesh waterfall, the zombies come pouring out of the door toward Brian. In unison, they fall, plummeting through the air, and smack, 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 smack. They splat into it, dislodging it from the wall.
Okay, but like, won't they merge together though? Won't that also happen?
The creature falls, flailing as it goes. One final time, we see the red dress flapping away from us, and blat! The monster explodes on impact like a massive red water balloon. Brian stares at the creature's remains, waiting for them to reform. They don't. The creature is dead.
No, it's not.
He did it.
We're only on page 88.
Brian continued. You shouldn't have been standing in the middle of the road anyways. Into her hospital/hallway. Night. Brian collapses onto the solid ground of the hospital floor on the other side of the chasm. He lays on the ground, heaving. Brian. God damn, I'm so tired. Oh my God. He looks at the room around him. On the wall nearby is another staircase sign. Brian continued. Fuck you. In the staircase. Moments later, Brian huffs his way up the steps once more. He passes 25. He passes 27. Finally, he stops at the top, level 28. Brian. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. In hospital,
now you want to bring up
28th
Jesus.
floor. Night. And there it is. The double doors of the lab ahead of him. Brian staggers, victorious, toward the brightly lit steel door. Speaker. OS. You made it. Brian. Yep. He slumps against the wall. Speaker. OS. Drop the gun, please. He looks at the pistol in his hand. No bullets anyway. He tosses it aside and raises his empty hand. Speaker. OS. Continued. Is the sample intact? He holds up the cooler. Brian. Yes, motherfucker, open the door. Damn. After a beat, the door opens,
Relatable
revealing a
response.
pristine white laboratory, so bright Brian has to shield his eyes. Standing in the doorway is Carl, 30 seconds, nerdy. Brian leans against the doorframe,
30s, not 30 seconds.
exhausted. Brian continued. I don't have a pen, but somebody's gonna have to sign for this shit. Continuous. Brian shuffles in and pulls the cooler off himself, careful to hide his infected hand. Carl snatches it and hurries to the back of the room where two more scientists, Sheila and Dave, wait eagerly. Brian winces as he removes his jacket and wraps it around his gnarled hand, which has now begun to pulse and bubble. Brian. Fuck. He pulls his collar up as well, doing his best to hide the discolored veins in his neck. Dave, is it damaged? Carl. Hold on. The scientists huddle around the cooler as Carl unpacks the vial and holds it up. Brian slumps against the wall. Sheila. Oh my God, it's intact. It's actually okay. Dave shoots Brian a happy look, but his smile fades. Dave. Hey, are you okay? Is he okay? The scientists stare at Brian. He forces a smile and gives a weak thumbs up. Brian. Just out of breath. Lot of stairs. So that thing's all good then? Carl. You did it, buddy. You did it. Brian. Cool. So how long does it take to get that thing turned into a cure? Carl. Not long. Sheila's already carrying the vial to her station and inserting it into some futuristic-looking device. Brian. Oh, cool. But like, what does not long mean? Like 30 seconds or like an hour or so? Dave. Don't worry, those doors are solid as a bank vault. Nothing's getting in here. Hard part's over. Carl. We just have to use this to synthesize a sample of the cure, and then we can begin replicating that sample. Brian. And once you take it, it reverses the bad stuff? All three scientists are already in go mode, manning their stations, typing on keyboards, preparing equipment, etc. Dave. That's the idea. Brian. That's good. That's really good. Carl. Sheila, talk to me. Sheila. 85%. Almost there. Carl. Dave, you ready with the binding agent? Dave. Binding agent ready? Now. Good to go. Brian takes a seat. His vision begins to blur, a pulse in his neck. He struggles to keep calm. Brian. Weak. Good job, Dave. Dave looks up at him, puzzled. Dave. Hey, is he okay? Carl looks over at Brian.
Like, you should have really made it clear that you were infected, because if you kill everybody in that fucking room, everybody's doomed. You know that, right? At least let them put you in a secure room where you don't kill everybody until they get the cure synthesized. I mean, fuck, dumbass nigga.
Brian. Carl. Are you all right? Brian. I'm cool, just been a big day.
Ugh.
Lot of stairs. Sheila. Okay, passing it through to you, Dave. Dave. Got it. Binding now. Wrapped tightly in his jacket, his hand begins to spasm. Brian. Sato. Oh shit. Carl. Talk to me, Dave. Dave. I think we are. Good. Brian lifts his head, forcing himself to stay present, fighting off the infection with pure willpower. Brian. You got it? Carl. Let's extract and multiply. Dave. Copy that. Extracting now. Dave pulls a gigantic, futuristic syringe from his station, inserts it into a device, and pulls back the hammer, sucking the green goo into the chamber. A tentacle worms out from the folds in Brian's coat. He shoves it back in. Brian. Okay, guys, I should wait outside because... Carl. Quiet. In the next moment, Dave pulls a syringe out of the device and holds it up in a moment of triumph. Dave. Look at that. Sheila. We have it. Carl. Thank God. Careful now. Let's prep the multiplier. Dave walks slowly across the room as if he were holding nitroglycerin. Brian rises to his feet and takes a painful step closer. His eyes are now blood red and fluid seeps from his nose and ears. Something bubbles around his mouth. Brian, I'm sorry, guys, but I think I have a bit of a situation here. Sheila, oh my God, he looks awful. The other two turn and look at Brian. Carl, oh my, hey, stay back. Brian shuffles forward. Brian, I'm okay. I'm not going to hurt anything. I just could use a little bit of... Dave, keep him away. He's infected.
No
Brian,
shit.
no, I'm still fine. Lot of stairs. I just need...
Oh, you fucking
grabs a
loser. If you'd have told them as soon as you walked in there, they probably just would have tied you up to something. And you'd have been...
Fire extinguisher and brandishes it. Carl, stay back. You need to leave the laboratory right now. Stay back. Brian's arm explodes out of the wrapped-up coat into a muscular swarm of tentacles. Brian, you stay back. Sheila picks up a...
I knew he was gonna fuck this shit up. I knew he was gonna fuck this up. I knew he was gonna be the reason that there would be like a worldwide fucking... I knew it. I knew you'd ruin this shit.
A beaker and hurls it into Brian's head. It shatters but doesn't slow him. Brian continued. Ow, I'm not gonna hurt any of you. I just need a little... Carl. Dave, hurry. Dave struggles to line the syringe up with another injection site in a device by the wall, but he's panicking, and he can't thread the needle into the hole. Dave, I can't get it. Brian staggers away from them toward the entry. Sheila, to Brian. Stay back. Sheila hurls another beaker. Brian, I'm trying to stay back. Stop throwing shit. How do I open this? Carl snatches up a long glass vial and brandishes it like a knife. Carl, Dave, I'll hold him off. Finish the sample. Brian, I'm trying to fucking leave so I don't... Brian freezes. His eyes bulge in their sockets. He jerks his head towards Sheila. And then it happens. He extends his sick hand toward them and... Splare! A stream of tentacles rip from the jacket around his hand, fly across the room, wrapping themselves around Sheila's head, and... Brian continued. Oh, damn. Pop. Her head explodes like a watermelon. Carl. Sheila. No.
Sheila.
Whirls,
No.
dropping the green syringe. It shatters on the floor, spilling its contents around his feet. Carl sprays the fire extinguisher, enveloping Brian in a white cloud. Brian's tentacles retract, sucking Sheila into the mist. Carl backs away, horrified. Dave scurries under a table.
Of course he does.
Dave! Carl! Where is he? Carl! Dave, stay there. I think he's... Brian comes hurtling out of the mist, Sheila's corpse now attached to his shoulder. He hurls himself into Carl like a truck, smashing him into the wall like a vertical pancake. Blood explodes in every direction. Dave! Carl! No! Dave scrambles out from under the desk and sprints across the lab. He makes his way to the door, has the presence of mind to flash his badge, and the door slides open for him. He runs into the dark of the hallway, panicked and without a plan. Behind him comes the monstrosity that moments ago was Brian. Now it's a collage of Brian and Carl and Sheila, loping toward him, with its appendages flailing in awkward momentum. Dave sprints as best he can, but Brian closes the gap. As Dave nears the windows at the end of the hallway, Brian leaps in. Smash! Brian collides with Dave in the...
Smash! Imagine if he actually made that noise.
Two of them go flying through the glass and out into the night sky, 28 floors above the town. XT, hospital, night. Brian extends one long tentacle arm and clutches the wall, pulling himself and Dave back, swinging together like a massive flesh pendulum that smashes into the wall below. The monster that was Brian grips the wall with its tentacles. Another tentacle grips Dave and yanks him into position, face to face with Brian. Dave's so terrified he can't even move. The fact that he's now dangling in the wind outside a building hundreds of feet above the ground is made insignificant by the fact that he's being clutched tightly by this mutant tentacle freak with a human head that stares at him hungrily. Finally, he manages to scream. Dave! Brian watches him without emotion, then opens his mouth and keeps opening it, creating an impossibly large, multifanged orifice. He pulls Dave's head into himself and then bites down. The screaming stops. Brian hangs there in the night wind, chewing Dave, absorbing him. His eyes scan the town below, then rise to the lights of the city in the distance. New bodies for him to conquer. He lets out a roar, terrifying and triumphant. There's more to do. The end.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding? Are you joking? Oh. Yeah, let's get a director who's famous for like bleak open endings to do fucking Resident Evil. Oh. Oh, so I guess we're not gonna know what the fuck happened to his girlfriend and his daughter. Not gonna know what happens there. Are you fucking kidding me? That was some old. I'm deleting this shit from my hard drive. Quick! That was some bullshit. Yeah, let's get that guy. Let's get that guy to do Resident Evil. Prince Vegeta, how do you love Resident Uber, guys? Such a great ending, right? We all love the MC so much, right? It was such a shock and painful, right? Prince Vegeta, I told you you would. I told you would love it when I gave it to you. Yeah, just oh. Usually, most Resident Evil endings, like, yeah, it'll be open ended, but it'll be somewhat like it'll feel somewhat not completed. That's not the word I want. It'll feel somewhat concluded. Prince Vegeta, this is just a comedy film with suspense. Yeah, ugh. Okra with internet. This is a waste of $15. This Allron one. This makes the Anderson RE movies look good. Paracosm, genuinely a pointless movie. Nothing mattered. Yeah, the fucking the cure for the virus is gone. Our protagonist is fucking dead because he's an idiot. Him trying to kill himself didn't mean shit because, I mean, he was stupid enough to just ruin this shit for everybody. Didn't I tell you that was going to happen? I said from jump it was going to happen. That he was going to be the reason for this shit to spread worldwide. I think we were like midway through the script, and I was like, you know, he gonna fuck everything up, isn't he? Oh. I can't stand these new horror directors. I can't stand you motherfuckers. Let's just keep it open. Number one, open-ended. Just love that shit. And make it completely morose and filled with despair. Because that's what people want. That's what they want. I mean, yes, does this leave open fucking a sequel? Yeah, but like you can still have it to where we win some shit, and it leaves it open, the ending open for a sequel. Goddamn! Jesus Christ, this was bad. Sometimes I feel like people leak scripts, or like studios leak scripts just to test them out to see how people will like them, or like the movie, so they know if they need to take something out or putting something back in. You know, it's like a covert. It's like a covert. What do you call it? I forgot. Oh god, I forgot what the word I was wanting to use. But it's like a test, like an audience test. You know how they do screenings and shit? I think that's what it low key is. Because I swear to God, if you release this in like everyone's gonna hate Zach Kreger or Krieger, whatever, after this. Everybody's gonna hate him after this. Holly Fauci, hey Jay, look up how many F-bombs this thing has. I'll look it up in a second. But I just need to do some more ranting. Oh my god. Mysterious capitalist. The city is doomed. Hooray! And most of the fucking characters are dumb as fuck. Just dumb. How do I search things on here? Can I? Duplicate page. Don't tell me it doesn't have the search thing. I thought it did. Ton. That was complete horseshit. Oh my god. Damn it. Holy shit. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. I think I found it. Holy shit, 101 times. The word fuck has been used in this script 101 times. And there's basically only like one or two fucking characters. All right, so the word fuck has been used 101 times. How about yo? How many times has yo been used? Now this could probably this isn't too accurate. Hang on. See, yo is a bit weird because they look up like match exact word. Okay. There's no way it's only 4 times. Come on. It's more than that. They say the word yo has only been used 4 times, which I think is bullshit. There's no way it was only 4 times. Yeah, but 101 F-bombs? Yeah, that's accurate. But holy shit, yeah, that was bad. Zach Krieger is gonna be hated after this. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with him after this. And all those people talking shit, like, it doesn't have to be a 1-for-1 adaptation. Shut the fuck up. This is bad by itself. This is kind of shitty by itself, to be honest. Even if it wasn't Resident Evil. Like, yeah, the monsters and all this shit sound interesting. The monster set pieces sound cool, but like the story's whack. The main character's whack. He's an idiot. He screws up so much shit. He dooms mankind because he was so stupid. Like, he's the type of, like, you'd think, because he wants to see, well, he was already suicidal because he didn't think he was going to see his girlfriend and his daughter again, right? So you'd think that he would take the situation more seriously. It'd be like, can you hurry up and cure me? I'm infected. I need this cure. I need you guys to cure me so we can, I need to see my wife and kid, my girlfriend and kid again. That's very important to me. But no, they have to make everything into a fucking comedy where he's for some reason not focused on getting cured for some reason. So fucking dumb. I hate this shit. Moondoggy, $5 super chat. Wasn't this so much fun, Jay? Can't wait till you do a watch along to it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna see if everything matches up like the way it did in the script. Mike Testa. Jay, what are you talking about? People will eat this shit up. Yeah, his dedicated fucking fan base, but other than that, people are gonna fucking hate this shit. Mike Testa, this is a ripoff of the Return of the Living Dead, Jay. I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know. Mouseketeer, $2 super chat. Look upstairs. Huh? Look upstairs. I think I know what you're talking about. Hang on. Metal Blood. I don't mind a dark ending, but it coming from the main character being an idiot is annoying. Yes, it is. Oh, some old bullshit. Yeah, this reminds me of Dan Trachtenberg and how he approached the Predator. Just like this does not give a fuck. Like, it seemed like he did give a fuck with the first couple, with the first movie with Prey. But after that nigga did not give a fuck. Somebody paid him to not give a fuck. But yeah, this stressed me out. I'm done. I'm done with this garbage. I'm gonna delete this off my shit. And I'm gonna go to bed. It's 12:30. This was primo. This was primo bullshit. Oh, I hate my life. Ryan McAmis. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. So Brian is a Las Plagas. I don't know what's what. They were trying to do some different shit. Oh, you can go. Unsave changes in document one. Ignore. Goodbye. Goodbye. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm so done. I'm telling you, watch the RE9 lobotomy edition. It'll make you feel better. All right, we'll see. But yeah, I gotta go, guys. It's midnight. I'm done. It's over. I gotta go to bed. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the super chats and your comments, well wishes, and all that. I truly appreciate it.